candlelit chandeliers glow. We'll sip our worries away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. Let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. Your eyes, they sparkle with every click. Sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call. You know, the way I imbibe on Friday nights, I have to give a lot of thought to Saturday morning. Saturday mornings, man, that was church for every kid with a TV. You roll out of bed, grab a bowl of sugary cereal that turned the milk neon, and plant yourself in front of the screen like it owed you money. From the psychedelic weirdness of the 60s to the wild 90s action cartoons, it was pure magic. Remember racing to catch the newest episode of your favorite show? Yelling at your siblings to shut up during the theme song? Those were the days when the biggest decision was whether to watch Thundercats or stay loyal to G.I. Joe. So top off your glasses, hit play on those memories, and let's toast the golden era of Saturday morning cartoons. The Canarble Wagon rolls right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
What you sipping on?
The iced tea.
Those of you that joined us this afternoon for Liquid Lunch got a little history lesson on the Long Island iced tea and saw me drinking from a much larger glass than this. Yeah, that was probably not the wisest glass choice. This is a little bit more appropriate for a Long Island iced tea. And well, okay, full disclosure. People say it tastes just like real iced tea, which may be true. I don't like iced tea. I don't. Sweetened, unsweetened, lemon, no lemon. I'm sorry. I am not a big iced tea drinker, so I'm not necessarily going to much enjoy the Long Island iced tea. But I am being true to the scheme of trying a different cocktail from the Barman Poet poem from Cocktail every week until we're done. I think we're about halfway through it. So some of those are made up drinks. I'm doing my best with those. Some of them are well-known drinks, but not necessarily the best. They were all chosen by name to fit a poem. It's kind of like cocktail roulette, but I digress. Welcome everyone to Last Call. Every Friday night here, we usher in the weekend with whatever your drink of choice is. It doesn't necessarily have to be an adult beverage. Whatever you so choose. We do not judge here at Last Call. And to keep me honest, of course, the security officer is here, my lovely wife, Netter, of Netter's Network. See, it even says right there underneath her name, security and bouncer. So you better be nice. How you doing, my dear? And what are you sipping on tonight, as if I didn't already know?
Well, I am very glad it is Friday. I have had a very hectic week at work.
Same.
So this is relaxation time. And although right now I am sipping on my regular Polar Brand seltzer water blackberry mango, I may have to go back upstairs to
make an adult beverage?
make an adult beverage like my Malibu rum, which I'm almost out of. And
Alexa, add Malibu rum to the Benny's list.
Malibu rum is now on Benny's list. Looks like you're stocking up for some tropical vibes.
Yes. Yeah, she's been really weird lately.
Well, she tries to be conversational.
No. Last night, okay, we have an Alexa, okay, she didn't try, in our studio, which is also our family room. We have one in our kitchen, one in our bedroom, and one in my office, okay? So we've got a couple of these around our house. We live in a ranch house, so that's enough to space them out. Last night, I told her to turn off our light because we have a smart plug. She said, okay, turns it off. Then I said, her name, Night, and she goes, I understand you're feeling depressed. The suicide hotline number is, and I'm like, that is not at all what I said. I said, I told her, I said good night, not at all what you thought I said. She goes, oh, okay, good night.
It's scary, guys. It really is. This is why
Yes.
we do these monthly AI updates.
Yeah, so I have some Malibu rum upstairs. I also have some pineapple juice, so I may be making me a Netter's Nectar.
I don't blame you, sweetie. It has been a week. I may ask you to make me, because if I get through this, I want a drink I can enjoy more. So
release our eight-legged friend?
I'm going to want to release the eight-legged friend. That's true. But for now, I'll stick to the so-called cocktail. And let's get my designated driver in, because if Netter and I are both imbibing tonight, you may have to end the stream tonight. Boomer, how are you doing? What are you sipping on?
I just got a water tonight. I got to work in the morning, so...
And you got to work tonight, so I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Like we're not going to spend 20 minutes on each cartoon. I hope we'll be here forever.
I don't think so.
Although, I hope.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, although I do hope we do better than, hey, remember that cartoon? Yeah, I enjoyed that too.
Move on.
Okay, next cartoon.
I kind of put these together. This is more like, at least with mine, it's what do I remember being on Saturday morning when I was a kid and turning on the TV. It's funny, as I did this, I kept coming up with shows. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, I forgot about that one. Even when I did my first draft here, I was like, oh no, I forgot these other two. But then I ended up taking out the two live action shows because I realized we probably weren't going there with the live action shows.
Yeah, and I had sent you a really long list, actually, for both of us. And I was like, you chisel that down however you think. I didn't
chisel it down. I'm sorry.
Oh, really? I did put the more important ones towards the beginning. We'll see what we get through.
Yeah, I mean, I gave Troy a list. I told him, these are just things I thought of. You make it however many you want it to be.
Mm-hmm. I figure if we don't get through the whole thing tonight, we could always postpone it till after Michael. I know Michael's next week, though, right?
Yes. So next week, everybody remember, is the real Star Wars Day, and we're going to be doing some more reminiscing about our childhoods, but specifically about the Kenner Star Wars toys that, let's face it, those were my absolute favorites growing up. And I believe that is also true for Michael French. And he is absolutely a subject matter expert. He will be joining us next week.
And since y'all that are here, most of you are members on my channel. Some of you are not. If you were listening to my show last night on Thursday Things, I was talking about how I'm going to have a special giveaway, because we gave away the poster for 15 days last night. Geek Flag with Nate won that one. I'll be sending that out shortly. But I'm going to be having a special giveaway of One Step Ahead. It's a film noir, also by Robert James, and you can see that it is signed. But that's going to be for members only. So if you want to be involved in that drawing, you have to be a member.
You might want to be a member over on Netters.
Yeah.
You should be anyway. She's prettier than I am, so I mean, you know.
Even if you just join for a month, it's a whole $2.99. Whoopee!
She might be able to buy a cup of coffee. No, well, she doesn't drink
No, I
coffee.
don't drink coffee.
But
yeah, so if you want to be in that giveaway, and that'll be, we're thinking sometime in June. We're looking at Robert's schedule to see, but we're thinking sometime in June for that. So, you know.
I recall Central Park in June.
And because I said we tend to overlap members and all that. On my channel, if you go to the poll, there is what day do you want your members only night for, technically this month. Although there's a day, the first week in June, I also have included in there. And also what you want to do on that day. So make sure you vote on both.
Yep. And I want to say hi to Connie Cleary, was the first one in here. She is the star of Fluff Chick Productions, and she is a member of the channel, dropping the fedora, the mumbler, the logo, and of course, the Canarble Wagon. Thank you so much, Connie. I super appreciate that. I also appreciate Danley Berry, Sports Highlight. He says, Happy Friday, guys. Yes, absolutely. Let's kick off this weekend. Netter's over there calling me the love of her life. I mean, I'll tell you, that's got to be a challenge for her. Some days are harder than others. I know that. And she gives the pitch because she's also my biggest cheerleader.
I can do this. Become a member for 7 cents a day. Members get 4 movies. Count them, 4 movies a month. Where else are you going to get a deal like that? If you are so inclined, please consider joining at the next level up for a whole 17 cents a day. Is Troy not worth 17 cents a day?
Yeah, I mean, I always say that the 4 movies are a Benny for the members. It's a weekly members movie night. But honestly, you're helping to support what we do here all the time. Like this show right now. I could not do it without the members supporting us.
And if I'm correct, this Monday there was a poll, correct?
There is a poll. I haven't checked it out. Netter, if you want to take a look at my members tab and see, or not members tab,
this is Boomer selection this time.
Boomer picked 4 movies for the members to choose from.
You choose one terrifying tale.
I said I don't have a dog in this hunt because I didn't know any of the 4 movies.
There is a dog. There is a dog in the hunt because there's one of the movies is Devil Dog.
Let me guess, it's a Cujo ripoff. Am I right?
Oh no, it's not.
I'm not a member.
Oh crap, that's right. All
you
right.
guys show me how to make the post for members only, because it seems like everybody can see my posts that I'm putting out for my members.
Yes, I did show you, but I'll show you again.
It's fine. Well, we can worry about it later anyway. But the 4 picks was Devil Dog Hound from Hell, which is basically like The Omen if it was about a dog.
The Omen dog.
Yeah.
So Damien is the son of the devil, and this dog is what? The devil's dog.
You know what? You're not wrong. And then there's the Initiation of Sarah, which some people considered a Carrie ripoff, but it's got Morgan Fairchild getting knocked into a fountain with a white T-shirt. So you got
that's
that
my vote. I vote for that one.
And then what is it? You have Summer of Fear with Linda Blair. and her mysterious cousin that moves in with them, and
I
then
mean, I like her too, but Morgan Fairchild definitely over
I
Lori
think
Blair.
someone's watching me, or something's. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's got Lauren Hutton in it, and it was like a
Yeah, see,
stalker
I like
type
her
thing.
too, but I'm sorry, Morgan Fairchild.
Okay. Anyway,
Above
y'all
all
y'all
else.
can vote. Devil Dog does have the kids from the Witch Mountain movies in it, though. Not that I'm trying to sway anybody.
I mean,
They're all
what's that
they're all
girl's name
interesting.
from Witch Mountain?
Oh.
She's cute too.
Yeah, because she was in Annie and the Professor.
Yeah, she was in a
Right.
lot of those movies.
Kim Richards.
Kim Richards, yeah.
Okay,
She was
so
also in what was that '80s movie?
Tough Turf.
Tough Turf. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member, and if you're going to give a super chat of $5 more, why not gift a membership instead to make our family grow? Canarble Fedora Mumbler. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Nate. Super appreciate that. What's up, Troy, my brother from another mother? I am, continuing to up the glass of this Long Island iced tea, but I might be switching to our eight-legged friend shortly. Let's see here. Guys saying hi to each other, which is always awesome. Films with Friends raid. I am so thankful to hear that you guys were able to do films with friends. That was good. G.I. Joe for the win. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Hello, my friends. Films with Friends happened. Yay! Yes, congratulations, Big Al. Although, let's be honest, might be time for a new computer, however you look at it. Don't wait for it to die. It is dying. Go ahead and get yourself a new computer so that you're ready when you need it. And, of course, FKC 2005, also known as Tim. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Let's see. David Pensek. Jabberjaw. Jabber, 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 jaw. I remember that one. I remember that. Captain Caveman. Jason of Star Command. That one, there's got to be a history there because it was just so parallel to Star Trek. It's like it wanted to be the Star Trek Academy of the day, and I don't know. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah,
but
they're not on our list.
I want to consider that like in Star Trek canon. But of course, I have a very, very fuzzy memory of it. I can't really remember it.
Was the Star Trek cartoon on Saturday mornings? Darn it! I think we missed one. Oh well.
I don't remember seeing it on Saturday mornings.
Then don't worry about it. This is about our memories. It's about our memories. Yeah. It's not about what was.
And our memories might be a little wonky.
They will be, because I'm going to get into some things later on with you, Troy. But we'll wait till then.
Things that you misremembered?
No. I'll explain later. Okay, we'll get to it. I have a section in the stream called Boomer Buzzkill. Okay, about something you put into your list. Okay.
Here we go.
We'll get to it later. Don't worry about it.
Brother, I'm sipping on a Waterloo sparkling water lemon lime. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with just a little sparkling water. You don't always have to have. You can have the spritzer without the white wine from time to time. That's perfectly all right. Jamie Lynn, good to see you. Good to see you. It has been very busy at work. Yeah, you've been really, really trying to make it to Liquid Lunch, but you've been coming late and stuff. And you don't have to apologize. I understand these things happen, but I was kind of feeling for you, man. I'm like, man, he must be struggling over there. I didn't even have a chance to watch Liquid Lunch today, and we were busy all the way up until we closed the door. Well, I mean, that's good for the business, I suppose. I can go for a Jack and Coke now. Yeah, I'm with you. I understand.
Do we have any Jack?
I don't think so. I tend to keep buying Jameson. And I should really... Am I a bad drinker? I really need to choose favorite brands. Right? I mean, obviously, you know how I am. Spice rum is going to be cracking, right? Although I will use some Captain Morgan for certain things, right? But I don't really think I have a favorite whiskey and a favorite bourbon, and I need to choose one. I may have to work on that this year. I'll figure it out. I'll decide. Which one's going to be my favorite? Whichever one decides to sponsor me. Am I right? Am I right?
That should be a thing. Yeah.
It is. There are, in theory, there are sponsorships, but not the big brands. Okay. That's the problem. I am looking into it. Into it. The last 2 days at work was shit. A lot of issues with things and not having enough help and other things. Well, when you find yourself the only one that's actually doing the work, I totally understand that. Hoot Owl! Orbital Bacon is kicking off tomorrow's Saturday morning nostalgia stream with droids and Dino Riders. I only remember Dino Riders as the toy, and I wasn't real into them, so I don't have much memory of them. But I know all the toys back in the 80s had cartoons backing them up, and of course, droids. I could do a whole stream about the droids and the Ewoks cartoons and their toys. When you all were watching things as kids, you just went to Nickelodeon to watch some Looney Tunes cartoons and a serial or two, plus a newsreel and more. Well, I kind of predate Nickelodeon, although I did watch some Nickelodeon as I got older. But we're going back way before there was a Nickelodeon, before there was a cable TV, in fact. I'm a member, he's a member, she's a member. Wouldn't you like to be a member too? And demonetized. So I'm a pepper, you're a pepper is, of course, what he is riffing on there. You know who wrote that, right?
Dean Martin.
No.
I don't know.
Okay, now you're shooting way too high. But come about midway down. Barry Manilow. Yep.
He did a lot of commercials, and I remember when he did this bit, he goes, I did a lot of commercials that you don't know that I had anything to do with. And Dr. Pepper was one of them. State Farm was another. Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there. And you listen to those melodies, and you think about it, and you're like, yeah, I can kind of see that,
Exactly.
Let's see. I remember it started off like Bozo the Clown, then Toons, then an Ultraman or Godzilla rerun. See, those local channels used to have all these different syndicated things. Throw them into a blender and just like a radio show, just playing whatever. Used to love it. Plus, there was that cartoon variety show where you had like, we mentioned in the backdrop, the Sid and Marty Krofft. Some of those little bits, most of them were live action, but some of them were cartoons. I'm trying to remember. Hanna-Barbera had a show. Gosh, they had a couple of them. And they'd play like 10, 15-minute cartoons, and they'd intersperse it with other ones. I can't even remember some of them. But, and it was so scattershot that you never knew what you were going to see when, so it was very hard to tune in and always see your favorite cartoon. It wasn't until many years later when we were adults that we could get them on, DVD or whatever. Let's see here. God bless you. Okay, I God bless you. Don't know what you guys are talking about here.
Things.
I skipped over.
No, it's Omen. He's meaning to say maybe they should have called it Omen Yeller.
Oh, maybe.
Because
Okay,
Old
so
Yeller,
he
do you
said,
understand? Yes.
and deleted said it should be Ouija dog, like Ouija shark. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm
Omen
just saying,
yellow.
man, these are some
Yeah,
terrifying
I
movies,
get what
man.
you
You might want to
guys.
get your Depends for Sunday night. I'm just saying.
It's like the Friday special the night before the cartoon season premiere. Oh,
I
I
remember
remember
that.
that. Oh, yeah, and they'd show you clips of all the cartoons that were coming up.
Yep.
And they also did this before the new seasons of shows started. They had the people from the shows doing this little like variety show where they would
Yeah.
cut to clips of what was coming up that season. And yeah, I remember that. What was it ABC? It was one of the networks that borrowed the song "Still the One," and they were using that as a jingle for their channel. And I don't remember. Wasn't James Doohan? Yeah, James Doohan was in Jason and Star Command. That's why I said it really had very much that Star Trek Space Academy feel, like almost like Scotty being a teacher at the school or something like that. The animated series was on Saturday morning. That was my introduction to Trek. There you go.
Was, yes,
See,
it was. I checked.
I don't remember because I saw it. Our local WGN affiliate played it 5 days a week throughout the week in the afternoon. So there were some cartoons that played earlier on Saturday mornings that I didn't usually watch because
I get up as early as I could. I remember. This is back in the 80s. Back when you were a kid and you're still young enough that you don't understand that you can sleep in. You understand? Like you get up at your school hour. Then you get up for school and then you just go down and watch the TV instead. You can't go outside because your parents aren't up yet. Or at least they would probably frown to that. So what are you going to do?
Speed Racer, Astro Boy, Voltron, Battle of the Planets. I see where you are. You've got a little bit of the Nico going on here. But with the exception of Astro Boy, only because I did not have a lot of exposure to that one. The other ones, absolutely. Absolutely. That was the equivalent of anime for me for a lot of years. Johnny Quest, the Herculoids, and Thundar the Barbarian. There you go. If you like Irish whiskey, look at Sexton. It is pretty good. I like the name. I like the sound of that name. Sexton sounds really good to me. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Speed Buggy. I remember those too. The Brady Kids. Yes, I remember the Brady Kids.
They were a cartoon?
Yes, they were. It was just the kids. No mom and dad, no Alice, but they had Ping and Pong, the pandas.
Oh, wait, yeah,
and a dog. I forget the dog's name.
Wasn't
did that for good old days.
We did do that for good old days. That's absolutely right.
In fact, if you watch Brady Bunch 2, the movie 2, they did a Brady Kid segment in that.
I'm not surprised.
When they all ate the magic mushrooms, and when they gave the one guy, oh, I know he likes mushrooms, and they gave him his, but they were like drug mushrooms, you understand? And like he.
Oh, I understand. I really do.
Yes, he hallucinated, and then yes.
When I was a kid, I'd watch cartoons, then play outside. Yeah.
Knob Creek. I did too.
I know Knob Creek. I don't think I've tried it. Buffalo Trace for bourbon and for Scotch. Whiskey. I don't know if I can get that one because I don't think I can say it. As long as Troy doesn't show his member. Barry Manilow, he wrote the songs that make the whole world sing. Oh boy, that's true. The old TV guides are archived, and you can show some regions' airing schedules. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're getting ahead of you. That's the second time, David. You're getting ahead of us. You and me, we're kind of on the same wavelength, I think. We are the one, yes, exactly. NBC used the "You're Still the One" song. I was not sure. I was thinking NBC, and I didn't want to second guess myself. Let's see. I know you can see Astro Boy on YouTube. I saw like one episode, I think. And here's talking about, so we're going to be talking about nostalgia. Talk about a blast from the past. Jesse Green, I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Good to see you. I like Robotech and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Absolutely. So I think we finally gotten to the end of our comments, but don't stop. Keep dropping your comments. I am happily distracted. I'm perfectly good with that. But let's go ahead and get to, because I know Boomer's been chomping at the bit,
All right.
and he
I'll
worked
go
hard
first.
on these today. So
I did, yes. This is well. This was complicated this week because my schedule was off. I'm normally have
Broken.
Fridays off. Let's get through this, man. This does say Boomer's pick.
Is
Oh,
there
I added
anything
another
you'd
slide that
like
said
to get
Boomer's
you a
pick.
drink?
no hurry, sweetie.
All right. This is an amalgamation of just what it was like on Saturday morning in the TV, and you have your cereal. I'm kidding. This is a horrible Canva picture that I made. Which
So wait a minute. Okay, so the background. I am going to assume that cat on the left is not a real cat.
I don't know.
To be,
You'll have to ask the
supposed to be
AI.
It's supposed to be a stuffed cat. That's how I choose to interpret it. Those kids would not be sitting there cross-legged eating. They would be on their stomachs, facing the TV, way too
yes.
close, with the bowl in front of them like a dog trough.
That's not how I would do it. I would be sitting on the floor, cross-legged with the bowl in my lap, or actually not even in my lap, in my hand, so that the spoon was right below my mouth to shovel in the cereal as I stared at the TV from like 2 feet away.
Yeah.
So I guess boys watch the cartoons differently than the girls.
And this idea of the kids engaging with each other?
No.
Nah. You'd be focused on that TV, and if anyone was talking, shut up, I'm trying to watch.
Shut up.
Did you see that? Did you see what happened right there?
And you can't, if you miss something, you can't rewind and watch it. Although I can see there's a VCR there, or a DVD player or something like that.
It didn't get everything right. There's a great scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High where he's watching some TV show and the people are having a fight, and then like his friend calls and says lost a wallet, and okay, I'll bring it over, and then suddenly like there's this huge thing that happens, and then he's like, wait, well, I missed it. Like he missed something important in the show he was watching, and it's like you can't get it back now.
Yeah, exactly. And well, that's I do the same thing with Netter, right? Like if I'm watching a video or something, I can just hit pause and pay attention to what she's saying, rewind if I have to. When I'm playing a game, once dialogue starts, shush! I have no way to pause and rewind. I'm listening to this. When they stop talking, you can talk. You know?
Those
He's
uniforms.
really rude about it too.
Well, and I want to welcome Booger. Good to see you, my friend. Always great to see you. Yes, release the boomer. I'm trying to release the book.
By the way, this is supposed to be a picture of kids in the 1970s. This is what the AI came up with.
Okay.
Release the boomer. That'll be later. Just stay tuned, man. All right. Should we just go? What brought this Saturday? It's been on the Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey. Yeah, I remember
problematic.
that one.
I'm sure.
Well, I was just thinking. There's like three different cartoons that we've mentioned that probably would get
canceled.
Some
today.
sort of just ping and pong. Would be a cancellation thing.
Because oh my goodness, it has a different nationality in there that they're talking about.
An implied nationality anyway. So
Yes.
Or ethnicity or whatever you want to call it. Are you saying it's your 50th birthday? I missed the context there, Jesse. Maybe the cat is a spy, like the man with the gabardine suit. Okay, well there you go. Tree Rock Creations. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a minute too. What brought this Saturday morning cartoon thing up? Don't know.
Me.
Oh, did you? That's right.
Yeah. See, these two were sitting there going, what are we going to do for Friday Night Last Call? And I was like, well, we've talked about toys from our childhood and things like that, but have we ever talked about our Saturday morning cartoons? And that's how this came about.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, I did that earlier, Captain Caveman. I actually enjoy doing that. It's not a good imitation, but it's fun to do.
It's loud.
Oh, Heckle and Jekyll. Now that's a foggy memory. I got to go way back for that.
No, those little, not chipmunks. They look like chipmunks. Are they chipmunks?
I don't know. I need another noun here.
Dale and
Chippendale.
Chippendale.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were chipmunks, weren't they?
I don't.
13-line ground squirrels. I don't know, something like that. Happy birthday. Oh, okay, so it's your birthday. I gotta sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jesse Green. Happy birthday to you. Cheers, my friend.
Oh, no, sweetie, you gotta do it more like
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Exactly.
I hope you're having a fantastic birthday.
Absolutely. Okay, sorry, Boomer.
What cereal are they eating? My money's on Fruit Loops, but anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
All right.
very likely. I see multicolors in there, so yeah.
All right. Earliest Saturday morning memories. Of course, Smurfs.
This was almost on both of our Netters and my list, but we didn't.
It's just these blue gnome creatures that they all had to listen to Papa Smurf. They get a horrible temptress in their midst by the name of Smurfette.
Yes.
And they start thinking, wow, these things like women. See, paradise gets ruined. That's the Eve, right? Okay. And I guess Gargamel's the devil, because isn't he one that created Smurfette and sent her in there?
Something like that.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Gargamel wants...
And it did cause all kinds of problems, because, as you would expect, every Smurf in the Smurf village wanted to get with Smurfette, except for one, maybe. But well, kinda, yeah.
Anyway,
but,
there's Gargamel. He wanted to eat them for some reason. He dreamed of eating Smurfs. And he had a cat, too, if I recall the cat's name. I don't know. I'm just remembering these being on, all right?
Yeah, I can't remember the cat's name now.
I don't care. Okay, anyway.
No, I don't care.
Is that the one? Okay, there's
Artie Smurf, yeah.
The artiste.
Yeah.
See, he's got the painter's canvas thing there. Look at that. He's painting an egg. I guess that was an Easter episode. Is this it for this? Yeah, okay. Do we have anything left to say about the Smurfs, man?
I will say that I was first aware of the Smurfs as little plasticine figurines that you could get and collect, and they were displayed in a case in the store, very similar to the way matchboxes were. It was this big tube with sections, and you'd spin it around, and you'd say, "I want that one," and they'd have them behind the counter in a little box, and the goal was to collect all the different Smurfs. And it was very much like, it's kind of like the way Hallmark does figurines and ornaments these days, where they just say, okay, variation on a theme. Here's another cat. This cat is getting into the garbage can. This is a cat wearing glasses. This is a cat, kind of thing. They did the same thing with the Smurfs. Usually different activities or different occupations or whatever. So,
I thought it was, fine, and I did collect the figurines. I'm not gonna lie, I had a few of the figurines. Okay, I mean, I would argue this is probably, I don't like this term now, but maybe like a gender neutral show. Like boys and girls would watch it both, and it was just it's
Azrael, that's right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Booger. That was the name of the cat. I remember now. Yes,
I knew someone would. Yeah, Jesse got it too. Just it's just whoever gets it in there first. I guess Smurfette was only in the American version, and only because of complaints by Jerry Falwell. That's weird. That is weird. Because it's almost worse when you introduce the one girl. That almost... When it's all men, you don't even think about any of that stuff. You throw a girl into the mix, and it's like, okay. Which now explains the one episode where they introduce Smurfette. It had to be them doing this to Jerry Falwell.
Oh my
It had to be.
goodness.
It just had to
The
be.
original name of the Smurfs is Les Schrumps. They were
Yes,
created by the Belgian cartoonist Peyo in 1958 originally. Oh, these go back to
that's
the
right.
50s. I
Yep.
didn't know that. All right.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
cool.
They
Big in
didn't
Europe.
really make it over. I don't think they really started picking up in the United States until like the 70s.
All right. So
Okay,
yeah.
this is what gets me. You got Papa Smurf.
Yes.
You got the little other boy Smurfs.
Yeah.
Where'd they come from? Where's Mama Smurf?
They don't say, but it is implied that they don't have a natural origin. They're like some sort of magical creatures.
So they sprout up out of the ground, like Gimli said the dwarves did. Remember? Oh no,
Very
he made
possibly.
he
Very,
made a
very
joke
possibly.
about that. He says people thought most of you think we probably just sprout up out of the ground, don't you?
Yeah.
There are no dwarf women. Remember that? It's like,
Yeah, exactly. Oh
or
yeah, I'm
dwarven
smurfing
women.
Smurf. All the adjectives were Smurf, and that included
Smurf you
swearing.
you Smurf and Smurf. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right.
You mother Smurfer.
Let's move on. Okay. We spent way too much time on this verse.
The
The
Wuzzles.
Wuzzles. You're right. It probably wasn't Wuzzles. It was probably the Wuzzles. Oh no, it is just Wuzzles.
It's
Okay.
just Wuzzles. Yeah.
I
Wuzzles.
don't know that one.
Yeah, this was early '80s. This is forgotten media. This is like what happens if you combine a hippo with a bunny, or a elephant with a skunk. I don't know.
See, and this is this is the kind of thing that going just like the Smurfs. Now, when you start looking at something like this, you start asking questions. Well, was Mama a hippo and Daddy a rabbit, and how does that work?
It had a song in the beginning. I should have watched before the stream that explained everything. Why do I bring this particular cartoon up? This was Disney's first foray, I believe, into at least '80s television animation. This was their first one.
Yeah.
This was a Disney cartoon. It was Disney's The Wuzzles. I believe it aired on Saturday morning. Hopefully it wasn't just strictly on the Disney Channel, because that was also a thing where something would show up on the Disney Channel on Saturday morning.
Sure.
And I had the Disney Channel. Jealous much?
No, we had the Disney Channel too before Disney went wackadoo.
Why does the one next to the elephant-looking thing look like a Care Bear?
It does look like a Care Bear, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know why? Because that was the market Disney was trying to get into. I'm sure that's what it was.
The Care Bears.
I didn't find them nauseating like I found the Care Bears, though. So you have to understand, my young boomer hated things that were saccharine and cute and felt they were being pushed on him, and it was pissing him off, if I'm to use a word.
Yeah, we know. Young Boomer was a goth. I want to say hi to Joshua V.
I would
Good
say
to see you,
Monster
my friend.
Kid, but that's okay. Anyway.
Same difference.
Okay,
And,
anyway.
and Joshua says, "Does anyone watch Me TV Tunes?" I think Jamie Lynn was talking about that
talking
before.
about it.
I didn't know there was a Me TV Tunes, but that's kind of cool. I may have to look into it. I used to get gummy. I can't even say that. Gummy Smurfs at the German deli by my in-laws. I didn't know that was a thing. So I'm guessing that's what Gargamel was into. According to classic Smurf lore, Smurfs aren't born in the traditional biological sense. Instead, they are delivered by a stork. Okay. Like I said, mythical, magical sort of stuff. I don't remember Wuzzles, and maybe that's a good thing. Well, honestly, I think somebody came up with the Wuzzles when they were doing a little too much 1970s recreation.
Here's the thing,
Lord,
though.
I thought I had forgotten those nightmares. Go ahead.
The one thing worse than Mom Chi-Chi's. Why does Mom Chi-Chi ring a bell to me?
It was a like a stuffed monkey toy that they marketed in the early 80s.
I'm aware of it.
Mon-Chi-Chi, Mon-Chi-Chi.
Stop it,
oh,
please.
so
My
soft and
daughter used to
cuddly.
watch that stuff too.
No, please no. See, now I'm remembering the things about the 1980s I did not like. How we always wax nostalgic, and I realized, no, that's rose-colored glasses. There was a lot of crap in the 80s.
Right.
All
That's
right.
true.
Okay. Let's move on to my next one. Oh, that's some kind of gator thing. I don't know. You're right. This is them trying to get in on the No, it's not a Care Bear. I know it looks exactly like one, but it's
Here's the
not.
only difference. The only difference is
Okay.
it doesn't have a symbol on its chest and it's got little antenna.
Oh, Disney.
Oh, I didn't even notice the antennas at first.
Old Habits, Bugs Bunny's still on Saturday on MeTV. Well, good for you, but
Oh,
it's not
what
the
heights
same. You're
will
streaming.
hit on with the show? This is it.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to look into this because you know what, the MeTV brand just makes perfect sense.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta check this out.
Of course, I'm going to talk about gummy bears because this was, of course, Disney's more ambitious foray into
They made a
television
cartoon
animation.
about a candy.
No, they didn't.
Seriously.
They're not gummy confections on the show. They look like this. It took me a while to figure this out. I'm starting to suspect, is this their version of the Smurfs? Is this Disney's version of the Smurfs? Because they have this guy that's always going after them. Instead of being looking like the weird monk in the robe, he's a knight, with the mustache. In fact, he reminds you of Captain Hook. In fact, I wonder if they got the same guy who voiced Captain Hook to voice him. I forget what his name. They always called him Dookie, and I think he's like the Duke, but they called him Dookie, and he'd get real mad. He says, "Don't call me Dookie," because Dookie refers to something else.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes, it does.
Captain Planet on MeTV, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not doing Captain.
Would you prefer we call you Poopy Face?
I don't know. This is the gummy bears. They had different personalities. That's like the mama bear, and I don't know. I don't even remember what the show was about, really. What I do
The
remember
mama,
though. Go
the
ahead.
mama bear looked a lot like what's her name, Mrs. Poole. The one from
Ferris Bueller?
from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't she? I wonder if she did the voice. That would have been great.
Maybe. Gummy Bears was okay content.
Righteous dude.
He is one righteous dude.
Just an overwhelming earworm of a tune. Anyway, it was on Disney Plus. Yeah, Gummy Bears. I remember when they first started the Disney afternoon block on during afternoons. They must have made enough episodes of Gummy Bears that they were able to actually put that as one of the blocks when they got to that. So that was interesting. So that helped them making. I remember Dashing and Dave's Courage, Faithful Story to Share, All Through the Forest. They call them Gummy Bears because they're gummy bears. I mean,
Okay.
it's still better than Disney Robin Hood. Anyway, let's move on. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get cussed at the chat. Let's move on. Muppet Babies.
I never knew the words. Muppet Babies.
They make your dreams come true.
Yeah.
Blah blah. All right, so this is.
My brother
Muppets.
watched it. Yeah.
I watched it too.
This was predicated on, I don't remember which one of the movies, but there was one of the movies where I can't remember if it was
Muppets in
Kermit or
Manhattan.
Miss Piggy. Was that it? Imagining what it would have been like if they'd grown up together.
Yes.
And they had they had actual puppets of these Muppet babies. And they decided, you know what? We like that. Let's turn that into a cartoon and make it a Jim Henson spin-off.
Now it's a cartoon. I remember there was weirdness. Like they all had big imaginations, and like there'd be something like Kermit's trying to get something out of the cookie jar. He opens up the cookie jar, and like one of the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal like would be looking up at him, or like they'd throw in movie footage from
Nice.
like Papa was like they did a whole episode where it's basically Kermit's Indiana Jones, and like
Of course,
they're
of
intersplicing
course.
him with certain clips from Temple of Doom and like Raiders, and like
That's funny.
it was kind of funny. I don't know, and like
Stuff that they had the rights.
yeah, because of
to,
course Spielberg was on good terms, of course,
exactly.
with Jim Henson, so they could like do an overhead shot of the Temple of Doom, and then you'd have Kermit as dressed as some sort of Indiana Jones type character, and yeah, I watched Muppet Babies when I was a kid, and apparently
Yeah.
they even did. I forgot about this, but they must have done it at some point. They did a Star Wars episode homage.
Welcome the horror cat dad. It's funny you perfect timing. You're just getting a little bit out of it.
You notice who everybody is? You have Kermit as Luke. You have Fozzie Bear as Chewbacca.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
And I know Ralph is looks like he's Obi-Wan. So
Right.
it's just I don't know, it's kind of funny. But I remember I would watch this, and here's what it was as a kid. is it bad enough for me to change the channel? That was usually what the thing was. This wasn't bad enough for me to change the channel because, you'd have weird stuff pop in on this show. Did I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it? No, but it was okay. It was okay. It didn't offend me. Like, there's some cartoons I couldn't stand, and I would just not, and I don't remember what
They
those
did
were.
one called The Secret Life of Walter Kitty. That's funny.
I don't know. Oh, that's funny.
But
Anyway,
you guys remember it way better than we do. The
moving
completely
on.
mental misadventures of Ed Grimley.
I loved this
I
cartoon
kind of did
show.
too. I kind of
You
did.
remember
I never
this?
heard of it.
Okay. This
Well,
okay.
this comes from the whole SCTV troupe. What was his name?
Martin Short played Ed
Martin
Grimley.
Short's
Yes.
character, Ed
Yes.
Grimley. They turned it into a cartoon. Yeah.
Yes. And Martin
Well,
Short would
I know who Ed Grimley is. It's just I
Yeah.
didn't know this cartoon
there
existed.
was a cartoon. Yeah, it would start out. Martin Short would be in the intro. I think he would pop up on the show like in certain segments too, as himself live action. Then they had the animated version. I don't think he voiced Ed Grimley, but whoever they got's pretty good. He sounds sort of like Martin Short. And
Hold on a second.
yeah,
Horror Cat Dad says, does anyone remember David the Gnome? Yes, voiced by Tom Bosley. Rest in peace.
why does that ring a bell with me?
It was literally a story about
This
the
might be one of
classic
these shows
garden
I
gnome.
skipped on.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cartoons, I don't think it was Saturday Morning. I caught it on Disney. Apparently, over in England, they did an entire clay animated series based on Winnie the Willows, and I loved it.
Interesting.
It was all clay animated too. Actually thought it was better than the Disney animated version. But yeah, there's Ed Grimley. See, I was watching. It's funny when you watch these episodes because even when they did some segment about like some lost explorer Amelia Earhart, and it's really about her, and it's like an Amelia Earhart type. But then Ed Grimley shows up in part of the cartoon, and it's just he's asking her these inane questions, and it's just that. My favorite portions of the show were, of course, the Count Floyd segments where you have Joe Flaherty showing up
Yes.
as Count Floyd, but he would
Reprising the Count Floyd segments from SCTV, yeah.
and he would show the kids in the audience, but this is like a kids version of the show where it's like Howdy Doody and there's the kids in the peanut gallery. So he would show them a scary cartoon, and like this one, like he's hand drawing it as it go, and it's like, oh, the old forest ranger tells Junior, don't go in the cave, and then there's a horrible werewolf, and he says, that's too hard to draw. No, there's Bigfoot, and then it's just this monster with a Bigfoot. No, and it's just a blob, and then he takes the mask off, and it's the forest ranger. Then some girl in the audience says, that was on Scooby Doo. I know that, and it's like they're all razzing him. They don't like his
Yeah.
cartoons. They're just it's horrible. It's like he got, what it is? It's like Count Floyd got a downgrade and was stuck doing a kids show after he did his
Yeah.
initial thing.
That sounds about right, too.
But yeah, I enjoyed this. Oh, look at that! Production of the show was produced Hanna-Barbera associated with SEP International. Voice cast Martin Short. Martin Short did voice him. Okay, I was about to
Yes.
say he sounded a lot like Martin Short.
Yeah.
But
Imagine he sounded alike.
yes, well, it was good. Sometimes they don't
I
always
still
get
insist
the
there's a
actor.
resemblance, though.
Anyway, moving on to people forget this. We
Yeah.
think of Peanuts, we think of all those great specials they did, but no, there was a Saturday morning Charlie
Yes, there
Brown
was.
cartoon that Ed Schultz was involved with. This was during the 80s. The Charlie Brown and Snoopy show. And don't ask me if I remember it. I don't know where this is. I don't think it's on streaming anywhere. I'm going to try to scour on Apple because I know they have all the Peanuts stuff.
That's a
I don't
good
know if they
point,
have
yeah.
this. But this was a pretty cool Saturday morning cartoon. This was like getting a Charlie Brown special every week. I think this was drawing a lot more from the strips than the specials did. So because I think the specials were like original works, but I think this was a lot of adaptations. But this was a good one. You like Charlie Brown?
Lasted for 2 seasons for a total of 18 episodes. So if it's on physical media anywhere,
It might be.
It's not that big an investment.
Look at that.
Looks like it. Yeah, looks like the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show, the complete animated series. You can get it for under $20.
You know what? I'll look into that. Maybe I'll pick that up.
Yeah.
With this certain card somebody got me. Anyway.
Oh, maybe. There you go.
Netter, did you ever watch this? Maybe this was after when you were done with Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah. This was 83 to 85. Look at that on CBS. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what killed me
I
about
think
these?
y'all are a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're kind of going. We're kind of starting out here, and then we're probably going to go gradually back in time. But I like this a lot. This was good. What about the Gumby cartoon? Well, was that a
He
Saturday
was
morning
a
cartoon?
little green slab of clay.
Yes. He's not on our thing, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Garfield and Friends. This was another animated series, and I forgot to mention, but this also it's Garfield and Friends, but also U.S. Acres. You know, was that another Jim Davis? Is that his name, Jim Davis, the artist?
Yes.
I
Yes, it
think was
was.
that another comic strip
Take
he
care,
wrote was
Booger.
U.S. Acres about the guys on about the animals on the farm. And in the intro, there'd be Garfield fighting with the U.S. Acres. I don't have any images of this. Sorry about that. But if you wanted your daily Saturday morning Garfield show, you'd have it. And of course, the same actor that voiced him in the specials voices him on the cartoon. The one who voiced Peter Venkman on the Real Ghostbusters.
Oh
Yeah,
right, yeah, he
yeah.
was a
So they
very
got
prolific voice actor. Jamie
yeah.
Lynn says the Charlie Brown is on Pluto TV.
I'll
So
look for it. Thank you.
yeah,
This is on Peacock right here, Garfield and Friends, so you can check it out there.
there you go.
And it's a decent cartoon. It had Blinky the Clown? I was watching an episode last night,
Honestly,
yes,
this looks like it blends into the artwork of the. I could almost believe this being a part of the artwork from the cartoon there.
I see. The original voice of Garfield was legendary Lorenzo Music. He famously voiced the sarcastic lasagna-loving cat in the classic animated television specials. Yes. Uh, Binky the Clown, that's right. And he wanted to go, "Hey, kids!" And he would show up, and he annoyed the heck out of Garfield here. And this one episode has Binky the Clown showing up. Like Garfield's trying to get a nap while John and Odie are at the
Odie.
store, and
Yeah.
Binky the Clown is wanting to, he has a birthday message for some, I don't know, Mrs. Harris that lives 3 blocks down, and she's 85 years old, and then but no, you have the wrong house. He's trying to explain, and he keeps trying to sing Happy Birthday, and it's driving Garfield crazy, and it's
Yeah.
just. Then it turns out, I think it ends up being a dream, and John comes home and says, "Hey Garfield, I know it's your birthday, so I got you a special gift." And he opens the door, and it's Binky the Clown again. It's like-
There you
so
go.
after he followed him in his dream, he then shows up in the real world. It was a horrifying episode. But yeah, I like that show. It's a good show. We're gonna get into a different Real Ghostbusters, but later.
Yeah.
But this is Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters. This show bugged me.
So why did you bring it up? It's on your
This
list.
isn't about what things I thought were great. Maybe I misread
Oh,
something.
it's
This is
just
about
memories. Okay, that's
memories and
fair.
things that
That's
stood
fair.
out. Now things can stand out because they're good or not.
Yeah.
I remember because I was a big Ghostbusters fan, especially Real Ghostbusters. And we're getting a show called Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, and I'm like, what is with this changed format? This is way more cartoonish than the
Yeah.
regular Real Ghostbusters. It's focused heavily on Slimer, who somehow is living in the apartment with Janine. I think that's him hanging out with the Forest Ranger. It's more like a standard kids cartoon, and I'm like, no, I want to see the Ghostbusters trying to thwart the end of the world by some ancient Babylonian spirit
Actually,
or something. And it's like,
I'm looking at her outfit, and she looks like she might be prequeling the Ghostbusters 2016.
maybe I don't know with the orange. I don't know. I don't. I remember not liking this, and I find out later on that parents groups, maybe the PTA or something, they did not like the Real Ghostbusters cartoon, and they were writing letters to the network. Can you tone down the creepiness and the violence, please? And I
It
think that's
was
where this
intense,
came
but
from.
look, this is my big problem with a lot of these kids shows. Some of the best kids shows when I was growing up were pretty intense.
And they had good writing. You
Yeah,
know?
because they wrote for kids, but they didn't write down to kids. And this is why, they keep you have all these helicopter parents, the Karen moms, and they want to bubble wrap the whole world from their kids, and this is how we end up where we are.
Yes. Let's see. That's true. Slimer was kid friendly, but it didn't bother me as a kid because you still had the adult stuff on the show.
Yeah.
So you had both. And I think that's what it was. And I think when was I, fifth, sixth grade when these shows were popular, and it was enough that it didn't bother me. I still saw this as a Ghostbusters. Tried. Okay.
Horror Cat Dad has a point. When they then got to Extreme Ghostbusters, they were trying to shift the pendulum back. Yeah.
What I've seen of that cartoon, I've liked.
Yeah.
I thought it was really a callback, kind of like Ghostbusters: The Next Generation. Actually, if
Yeah.
I'm being
Yeah.
honest here, that's what
I
that
think
show
there was a
reminded
lot
me
of inspiration drawn from that when they did Afterlife.
I kind of like the new Ghostbusters who were Egon's poor college students that had to do this to get credit for the class. That's how it started out. And I'll anchor the show some merchandise gluttonous green ghost from Cedric Hotel who didn't have an official. Yeah, but it did get us the Ecto Cooler, didn't it?
That is true. That is true. Oh my gosh, I never really thought about that.
So yeah, so that's I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just remember it bugged. Yeah, like is that some kind of werewolf? I'm supposed to be scared of that. I remember being a kid like, this is too kiddie. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You had the right balance, and I'm like, you do this, and like this is I told you I did not like things that were overly cute. It bothered me as a kid. Now we're just going to jump into the 90s because I'm going to be wrapping up my stream. But I figure I need to comment on some 90s cartoons. X-Men.
Yep.
Saturday morning, big deal. This was, I think, the first Marvel cartoon I'd ever readily watched, and this was premiered the same year as Batman the Animated Series, but this was a completely different studio, and Warner Brothers wasn't involved. And from what I heard, the poor animators in this were basically just trying to get this thing done on the skin of their teeth. They didn't have the kind of budget that they had over at Warner Brothers Studios. But you have all the classic characters from the 90s. You have Magneto as one of your villains. You had Apocalypse, who I found terrifying. Some of the writing on the show was pretty interesting. You did a lot of stuff with time travel where people from the future were coming into the past because the future was so screwed up because of a war that happened between the mutants and the humans that basically just destroyed the world, so they're trying to stop it from happening. And of course, this is an Apocalypse who
Right.
one guy calls him, "Are you a mutant?" And he says, and he says, "A mutant. I am as far above them as they are above you." That's what he said to this one.
Wow.
It's like Professor X called him a mutant that was so old and so powerful that he's been driven insane by his powers. That's what he called it. But anyway, it was a big deal. This made way for the Spider-Man cartoon series we got later on. Is a fixed Fox Kids Saturday morning, October 31st, 1992. I watched it. I watched it. I got the Pizza Hut tape where you could go to Pizza Hut and get the free X-Men tape if you got a pizza. I did that. X-Men Soga, Spider-Man, and May. Oh, well, wait, we might get to something like that later. Let me just wrap mine up because we're going to be here all night. Bobby's World.
Yes.
X-Men is still great. I agree.
That
with
was
Rock Creations.
Bobby's World was Howie Mandel's character.
Yeah.
And he did the voice. Yeah.
Yeah, they were taking a lot of the comics. Like, let's go on to Bobby's World. This is, of course, the Howie Mandel, as you said, he would do it on his stage things, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And he would do... there he is. He would actually show up on the show with Bobby and have conversations with him, the cartoon character. And then they go into the actual show. And I don't know, I kind of like the mom on the show because she talked like with one of those Fargo accents, don't you know?
Yeah, don't you know, yeah.
But you probably heard it on a stand-up act about,
Yep.
If this bird should, whatever the bird
If
song.
this mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna... Oh, Netter does it really good. Let her do it.
I'm trying to remember how the song goes.
How does it start? Hush, Little Baby.
How is it?
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna chop off his head and break his wings.
I remember that. Yes.
Yep. And every verse of it gets
worse,
perverted that way, and it ends up with if that Mama's gonna get you another mockingbird or whatever.
Yeah,
And if that mockingbird
If my
don't...
mama gets me another one, I'll kill that one too.
I'll kill that one too.
Yes. I love Bobby's World. A lot of that same humor was on this show too. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all the characters. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this cartoon. This was cool. This was a '90s cartoon, so this was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting out of Saturday morning as we get further into the '90s because it's not that I even stopped watching cartoons. I just stopped watching them on Saturday morning. That's what ended up
Right.
happening. But Phantom 2040 did want to bring this up, which you can, I think, watch for free on either Tubi or Pluto, and I think Amazon has it. And I think they finally got around to cleaning it up so it doesn't look like an old VHS tape that they're streaming on there. But this is Phantom 2040. This was character designs by Peter Chung, who was famous for Eon Flux on MTV. And this is...
Why does it look like everyone got stretched in a taffy puller?
Let me explain this to you. This is how Peter Chung did his character designs. Peter Chung used to work on Rugrats.
Okay.
And on Rugrats, he was forced to draw these really squat characters. And he said, when I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to make everyone tall and skinny. And that's why everyone looks tall. These don't look as spooky as some of the designs he did on Eon Flux, but this is definitely Peter Chung's design.
Eon Flux, I didn't realize it was the same artist. Whoa,
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is, of course, a continuation of the comic strip, The Phantom.
Right.
And this is taking place in the year 2040. I guess we're headed there. And it's like a whole cyberpunk type world. And there's an evil corporation. And basically, his name is Kit, and he lost his father, who was the previous Phantom, who died in a mysterious... There's a whole mystery on how the old Phantom died and what happened with this corporation called Maximilian Inc., I think it's called, or Maximum Inc., I think it's called. And the head of that is, of course, voiced by Margot Kidder. They had a lot of good voice actors on this show. She played the villain. And that's her twisted son, that's her twisted son, who talks to his cat and says his cat talks to him. He reminds me of like a Caligula type. And it's just a really cool cartoon series. That's another villain. He's one of the ones that lives on lives on a space colony where everyone's weightless, so they have no muscle mass. When they get to Earth, they have to wear these machines to make them walk around in because they've been living weightless for their whole lives. It's a really weird show, but it was really cool. It's basically the Phantom if he was stuck in this weird cyberpunk future and trying to save
What's
the
really
world.
interesting is you look at something like this now and you think, 2040. 20 years from now? Not even 20 years from now?
Nope.
No.
It's coming.
No.
Except they keep doing the virtual reality thing on the show. That was a big thing back then. But Peter Chung cutting his teeth before he unflux. So maybe that's what it was. Yeah. This was just a cool... Where is the tick? Oh, I apologize, Tree Rock. It's not on the list. It should have been. It was a slip of my mind. I should have had the tick on here. You're right. The Tick was a wonderful superhero spoof show. I don't know if you ever got a chance to see it.
I know of it from the chat mostly, exclaiming spoon.
One of the villains was a man called Chairface Chippendale, who basically had a chair for a head. And his big scheme was he wanted to etch Chairface on the moon, and the Tick stops him before he's done, but the word, I think, CHA is still stuck on the moon. In future episodes, when they show the moon in the background, the CHA is still there. It's like he's a superhero, but not a good one. And there were other heroes like American Maid, and she looks like a maid, but she's patriotic. Do you understand?
Yes.
And their Fighter Mouse is their version of Batman, except it's their Fighter Mouse from the play. It's ridiculous cartoon. I should have had it on here. You're right. That was a mistake on my part.
I didn't watch the Tick because I kind of aged out of
it's fine.
That kind
It's
of
fine.
stuff. But it's probably for the best because I think at that age, if there was a villain named Chairface, the jokes I would have made would not have been child appropriate.
Who knows? Maybe the original comic book wasn't appropriate that it was based on. I don't
suspect.
know. But yeah, that was a good one too. I should have had it on here. I'm going to put Jackie Chan Adventures on here.
Why not?
Only because this is another odd 90s cartoon where you have Jackie Chan, a Jackie Chan cartoon show.
Yeah.
And it's almost weird. It's like when they used to have, what is it, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCartney on the radio when they were a puppet act, and it's like, what's the point of listening to a puppet act on the radio? What's the point of watching a great martial artist if he's a cartoon and you're not seeing
Exactly.
him do the martial arts? But
Exactly.
it's funny though because it's a series that plays out like a typical Jackie Chan movie. He's got his uncle, like in all those Jackie Chan movies, he had his uncle he'd always go to advice for and things like that. He's in
Right.
this, and his uncle would always have the line here, one more thing, and then he'll go to his, oh, one more thing, and he would keep saying it.
Yeah.
The villains remind me of the typical villains you'd see in Jackie Chan movies. There's another close-up of the uncle. You'd have, like the guy all
Wow.
the way on the left, I think, what is the name of it? Is it the White Hand is the name of the evil organization? The guy on the left, I swear, if this was live action, he would have been played by Julian Sands. That's who I would imagine playing him.
Yeah.
In like the Jackie Chan movie. These are the villains. And it wasn't bad. It was a fun little cartoon. I used to watch it. And I remembered Jackie Chan would come on and do like exits. What is it? He would do things at the end of the show where he would answer fan mail, and he says, "Jackie, how did you learn how to be a martial artist?" and things like that. He explained, "Oh, I went to this school," and he didn't voice the actual character though. They got somebody else to voice him, but
Yeah.
he would be on the show at the end, and he would answer questions. Okay, so it was
Sure.
kind of neat. And that's all for me, but we have more. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought we were going to do this in reverse order, but let's go to who's going up next.
I guess if we are
Let's
going
do
to go
you.
back
Let's
in
do
time,
it.
we'll go back to me.
Go back
Yeah, 30
into
seconds
Yes.
for each cartoon. I'm kidding, of course. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because you took all the time up, man. So
Super
it's-
Friends.
Yep, yep, yep. So we actually did a good old days on the Super Friends, and this is like, okay, so this was a big thing that happened. There was a lot of these kinds of production errors. Look at Batman. That's a reverse of the way the symbols. Oh, Ruby Hoof, thank you so much. Well, this is perfect timing because Ruby Hoof just gifted a membership that went to Jesse Green, who is right here in the
Hey,
chat
Jesse
with us.
Green, you can pop
So-
by Monday night. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome back to membership, Jesse Green, and thank you so much for that very kind gift, Ruby Hoof. You are absolutely one of the good ones. I was starting to say though that if you look at that bat, it jumps out at you as a DC fan because the black and the gold are reversed on his bat symbol, which actually is no. I was going to say that's kind of the way the Batman movie did it, but that's not true. It was also a black symbol on a yellow background, so they would get those reversed. And although you can't see it, at least in this picture, Robin's R was also always reversed. In fact, consistently. So much so that the reverse yellow circle with the black R inside of it is the Filmation Robin, But anyway, this was, I think, second season because the first season was the brother and sister, the non-powered brother and sister with the dog, and this is the alien twins that had
Wonder Twins.
morphing abilities, exactly, and they're did the monkey have any abilities, or was he just there to carry around the brother when he turned into water?
That's the worst power.
I know, right?
Like she could
Thank
turn
you.
into she could turn to animals, right? Wasn't that what she could do, or turn into a
She could
panther or
turn into
something?
animals. He could turn into any form of water. Ruby Hoof gifted a Netter's membership as well. That one went to Adega Outlaw. Welcome back to membership Adega over on Netter's channel. Thank you.
Remember
so
they had the Wonder
much.
Twins on Smallville, and they had a monkey phone instead of it being an actual.
That
monkey.
was that was like they did something very similar with Mixie's Pitlick. They just
Oh,
made
that
him
was
Russian.
worse.
He was just Russian.
That
and
was
he had
so
some
dumb.
minor magical ability.
I'm going to do a rant on that another night. What they
Yeah.
did with Mr. That was the perfect show to showcase Mr. Mixer Spitlick, and
Yeah.
they screwed it up.
Yep.
Oh. I'd like to see him in a movie. I would pay good money to see a Superman movie where it's just him, Mr. Like, we have, of course, the Legion of Doom. This is what the show is most known for, right?
Yes. Yes. They had so where and it actually made sense, right? Because if the Super Friends had their headquarters, why wouldn't the villains as well?
You got some heavy hitters here. You got Black Manta there on the left. I see the Riddler. I see Scarecrow, Captain Cold, Solomon Grundy. Is
Let me
that
see how.
Brainiac?
Uh,
Sinestro.
yeah, I can help you out here. So if we go left to right, we got Black Manta, we got Giganta. That's a Wonder Woman villain. Toyman, the Riddler, Bizarro, the Scarecrow. That's a Batman villain. Lex Luthor, Captain. No, is it Captain Cold?
It's
That's
Captain
not
Cold.
Mr. Freeze. It's Captain Cold.
It's Captain Cold because he's
Right.
got the hoodie.
Cheetah, which again is another Wonder Woman villain. Solomon Grundy. Oh gosh, who was the
Gorilla
Gorilla
Grodd.
Grodd?
Ah.
Gorilla Grodd. Yes. Brainiac and Sinestro. Yes, you're absolutely right.
My favorite
By the
DC
way,
villain,
all of
Gorilla
these
Grodd.
figures are now available through Figures Toy Company in Mego scale. They most of these, with the exception of the Riddler. Let's see, the Riddler. I think the Riddler was the only one of those figures that got there wasn't even a Lex Luthor back in the original
What?
70s. Yeah. So the Riddler was the only one that got a Mego action figure back in the 70s, and all of the they did a Super Friends line. Their features look a little bit more cartoonish, and they got all of these. And so the Solomon Grundy and Gorilla Grodd figures are they use the same body as the Hulk, but it's a newer version of the Hulk body, so that the legs are like taller.
Okay.
It's actually pretty cool. And then Solomon Grundy has like a suit, a fur suit that goes over that body.
You got to look
really
your best.
neat. Yeah. Well, I mean it's not a suit like a suit.
He was a mob. He was like a mob guy that was murdered and thrown into a bog, and he came back to life. Right.
That was Solomon Grundy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Solomon Grundy. That was his origin.
Right.
Like they tried killing him, and then I guess they threw the body into the.
There
wrong
was
spot.
there was a voodoo / Frankenstein sort of concept there. Yeah.
We got to talk about Apache Chief. What's the deal?
Yep. So they decided that they wanted to broaden it as a what do they call it? International Super Friends.
Okay.
So they brought in the samurai. I forget his name.
Oh, cool.
So obviously from Japan, and they brought in Apache Chief, Native American, and it was very interesting because. So whereas they had Giganta, who was a Wonder Woman villain, it seemed like an odd dichotomy of power set, because Wonder Woman, it's not like she can grow to be a giant, but Giganta was like your 50-foot woman type. So you had Apache Chief, who had a very interesting implied mystical background, where he would say certain native words, as I'm assuming it's supposed to be words from the Apache language, and he would grow large. So you would oftentimes see him trying to stop Giganta as the offset. I thought it was actually a very clever thing. If I remember correctly, the samurai character had did he have like Red Tornadoes type of power set? I can't really remember. These are a little bit fuzzy memories, right? Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday, married on Wednesday, took ill on Thursday, worse on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. Yeah, that was the end of Solomon Grundy. And in the comics, Solomon Grundy used to repeat that over and over again. That's why they called him Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, they had him on when they brought Justice League later on. They had Solomon Grundy on. They actually did a a little nod to Apache Chief and the Wonder Twins on Justice League, but they turned out that they were evil Catmus experiments that they sent into the Justice League to kind of mess them up. I felt bad though for the Apache Chief kid though. He was actually a good kid, but he was still gonna, I guess, waste away. But he had a crush on Wonder Woman. You could tell. Like whenever Wonder was around, he got all woozy and like.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure Robin did too. So let's not.
There we go. I don't know. I wonder if she might have been open to it, but then I guess he died though later on. I think she said she stayed with him well, you know, during his last minutes. They have a live action version of Solomon Grundy on Stargirl. Interesting.
God.
I didn't never watch Stargirl.
It was like God. Those CWs after even during Smallville, some of it was pretty cheesy. It got worse. Robert's Infinite Realms, good to see you. I vividly remember Apache Chief setting a grizzly bear on the other side of a mountain in one episode. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. It's like, you know what? You could grow 100 feet tall. You can pick that bear up, put him on the other side of the mountain. You just go do your thing, Mr. Bear.
Well,
Leave everybody else alone.
Well, yeah, he respects the bear.
You better respect the bear because he'll eat your face otherwise.
Moving on to Spider-Man, which I guess you caught in reruns on Saturday morning, but we have...
yeah, because that was from the 60s. Yeah, that was from the 60s. Oh, you went with this Spider-Man. I said Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That was from...
Oh, no, well, let's skip because we'll get to that. I thought we were doing both. Let's just jump over. Let's just skip this. We got time. We don't have time for this. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. There we go. Look at that. We got Iceman and...
Yes. So this
Fireface, or whatever her name is.
Fireface.
I don't know.
Firestar. Yeah, so I loved Spider-Man in general. So I watched all the 68 series that you just had up. And then this was next up in the 80s. Actually, there might have been one before this. But the interesting concept here was very, very, very much like I'm sure this had to be at least partly the inspiration for the relationship you see between Iron Man and Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. Tony Stark sets up Spider-Man with an apartment. I'm guessing he's college age in this show. And sets him up with an apartment that has like a bunch of high-tech computers and stuff to help him with his crime fighting. And he's going to university with Iceman, with Iceman and Firestar, both of whom were X-Men, I believe.
I know Iceman definitely was one.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny if they're in school and they're all taking Dr. Connor's class and. You know, hey, Dr. Connors, I'm doing a report on lizards. Can I ask you? I don't know why you want to know about lizards. You know, just that. Didn't happen.
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
Exactly.
I don't know.
But I did. Well, of course, Mego had the Spider-Man figure, but of course we never got Firestar and Iceman.
Boo.
And, well, they came out in the 80s and started getting popular, and by then Amigo was on the decline. But Michael French had done a video about how much he loved this show and how he was trying to get all, these three figures, and he couldn't because every toy line that would do one or more of these figures never did all three of them together. And so he would talk about what he would do. These figures were kind of in scale, so he'd display them together or whatever. And in the comments of his video, I said, hey, Michael, do you have a Mego Spider-Man? He goes, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. And I made him a custom Firestar and Iceman and sent him to him for Christmas 2 years ago.
Oh, so cool.
Yep. And, if Mego had done Iceman, that, from the neck down, it would have been like a painted jumpsuit that looked exactly like that. What I did was I got a transparent body and a transparent resin head, and boom, there's your Iceman. It really did look like ice.
It would make sense Spider-Man would hang out with like X-Men mutants because he's also an outcast in society, and they are kind of too. So it
That
makes
was
sense
interesting
they would be
because
allies themselves. Yes.
there was a story in the comics where he tried to become an X-Men, and they said technically you're not a mutant in the same sense. Mutants were born mutants. He was more of a mutation by accident.
Yes.
So he didn't really qualify as a mutant. He did have a closer relationship with the Fantastic Four. He did occasionally have adventures with them, especially when he was filling in for, like, there was a period in time when Ben Grimm left and She-Hulk took his place on the team. There was a period in time when, I can't remember if it was when Sue was pregnant or when she was recovering from giving birth, or maybe it was Johnny was out for some reason.
That might have been why, yeah.
Either way, Spider-Man kind of filled in a little bit there.
He was friends with Johnny Storm. I remember that. Yeah.
Well, friends, kind of more like frenemies, because they ended up as what are they called? Roommates for a while, and Johnny was just a complete dick, and Peter was just at his wit's end, getting ready to move out, and Johnny does something as a prank, and it pushes, if I remember correctly, pushes Peter into an alternate hell dimension or something like that, like really serious. And oh man, he was pissed. It was like he was this close to effing killing him. There you go. Was this in?
Yes, this is a crossover in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Yes,
that is really awesome. Yeah,
they
knew they had a couple X-Men show up, but the Cap showed up. That's really, really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. But people think Firestar was created for the show. I wonder if they ever made her official in the comics, because that can happen later where they add someone.
Welcome, by the way, Kolchak. Good to see you. I think Firestar was created for that show. Later, popped up in comics. There was, I don't remember. Michael French would actually remember the story exactly. I thought it had something to do with there was another fire-based male character. Oh, I think it was that's what it was. They wanted Johnny Storm in that show. So it would have been Johnny, it would have been Iceman, I'm forgetting his alter ego, and Peter going to university together. So in other words, they could have been all rooming together, but they couldn't get the rights to Johnny because Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Separation of rights. So I think you're right. I think that's when they created Firestar, but then making her a girl, they couldn't be in the dorms together, so that's why the whole Iron Man element came into it.
Yeah. But yeah. Moving on. We're going to move on now.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, so this was a very, very interesting. You know, every toy had to have a Saturday morning cartoon, right? And or not, if not Saturday morning cartoon, a daily cartoon, because it was like a constant brand recognition, right? Well, Dungeons and Dragons wanted in on the deal, and instead of doing something logical like adapting something like Dragonlance into no, we're going to start completely from scratch. And so Dungeons and Dragons is a franchise apparently in their real universe. We don't know if it's movies, cartoons, a comic book, the game that we're all aware of. But there was a roller coaster based on Dungeons and Dragons, and all the kids got on the ride, and they go through a portal and end up in the actual realm of Dungeons and Dragons. And
I have a vague memory of something like that.
I've got them all on DVD, including Huh?
Yeah, I think you showed them to me.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I know them.
The entire DVD set and plus I had to get this separately, but there was a the final episode that would have wrapped up the whole storyline was never made, but it was the script was released by the creator of the show, and it was eventually made into a fan cartoon to end the series. And I found it online, put it on DVD, added it to my collection. Yeah. Bobby Drake, thank you very much. Joe's Atmosphere, and welcome, Joe's Atmosphere. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, who's this little gnome wizard thing? What is that?
They literally decided that Dungeon Master was a literal character within the world. Instead of just being the game referee, the voice from the clouds, they yeah.
I remember dude.
Yeah.
He's
like a Yoda type of character, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely showed these to me because I did not watch these on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, this is that's how I interpreted talking about Saturday morning cartoons, the ones that we always had to watch. Yeah. You were busy watching H.R. Puffin stuff. Well, this H.R. Puffin stuff had already ended by the time Dungeons and Dragons.
We'll probably have to do live action kid shows another
we could
stream.
do
That might be an idea.
Do that too. Yeah.
All right, and then of course you had the big villain, which was this dude,
Venger. Yeah, who you find out later is, of course, the Dungeon Master's son, and yeah, that's one of the big.
He wants
twists.
to be the Dungeon Master.
He's basically Billy Barty as Yoda. Yeah, kinda.
Wasn't there also a dragon on this show that was also an enemy?
Tiamat.
Yeah, Tiamat. I remember that. Yes.
Which actually was about the only of all of these, the only one that was actually a character in the real Dungeons and Dragons. And then they did introduce some special episodes that involved Dragonlance characters.
Did Vecna show up at all?
Vecna did not.
Okay. No Strahd either, probably.
No. Well, this I think predated Strahd.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. A little cartoon, give kids a taste of D&D. They get here by riding the roller coaster, the Funhouse ride. And
the other problem with it is if you went to Dungeons and Dragons, and actually it's interesting because I did see this cartoon before I started playing Dungeons and Dragons in high school. And so I wanted to be one of these classes. And a ranger doesn't get that weapon, and there was no acrobat character, and the barbarian was a very different kind of character.
Why wasn't there an acrobat?
It wasn't until second edition that they started doing kits, where you would have been some kind of a fighter that had. You wouldn't have the armor abilities, but you would have the skill abilities and so forth. It was the predecessor to the skill system that they introduced in version 3. So, but yeah.
And there's a little unicorn there too, I see.
Uni the unicorn, yeah. There was a story where they had rescued. It was almost like a kind of like a Last Unicorn type of story where I think it was Venger or maybe it was someone else was collecting unicorn horns, and he didn't kill them outright to take their horns, but in taking their horns they began the process of dying because all their magic was in their horns.
That makes sense.
Without that essence they're dying, and he was putting these into some sort of a construct to make a magical device or whatever, and Uni's parents had been captured and Uni as well. Uni escapes, wants the kids to help them. They kind of adopt him. They go rescue the parents. I guess it's a thing where you can take the horn back and put it back into their head, and they're going to
because it's magic.
Because magic. And Uni, instead of going off with his parents, decides to stay with Bobby, the barbarian.
Okay.
And it was like it was kind of that bittersweet story where he's got to make that choice, and he's like, it's almost like if we can't go home, he can't go home, and it's goofy, but you kind of see that parallel, and so you were always hoping that the kids would be able to make it home eventually, and you assume that at that point Uni would go back to his parents, but anyway, there you go. The real Ghostbusters, not Slimer and the Ghostbusters.
Yes. Now, this, I'll get into this now. This is, I remember catching this on in syndication. This did start on Saturday morning, though. This
Yep.
was and this
It
is
did.
this is the four of them right here. New uniforms. They explain why they have new uniforms because their old uniforms were infected by the Gozer stuff, and they became like ghost versions of the Ghostbusters.
Yes.
So they had to destroy them with their old uniforms, and then they needed new uniforms. Yes. Now they're
So
color-coded.
this was who was it, Sony at the time? I know it's Sony
You
now.
think so? Well, I think it was Sony at the time. Yeah.
They were looking for a toy brand to go with. What do they have? Well, we got Ghostbusters. Said, okay, we got to kid it up because it's a pretty adult kind of show, not in the, that kind of adult, but you know what I mean. It's more for a more mature audience, and
yes,
and
I
so
enjoyed it.
They were definitely going to child friendly it. They also had to. There's just in this shot. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to move myself so you have Ray on the left, you've got Peter Venkman, then you got Egon, and you got Winston Zeddemore. First, they all look different from their, from the actors that played them because they needed, that 20% difference, right? So they didn't have to pay the actor. No, this is where this 20% difference comes from. It always has to. It's a legal term of art. It always has to be distinctly different so that you don't owe royalties to the actor that originally played the role. We're not using your likeness, so we don't owe you anything for it. So that was the first thing. Why is Ray a redhead? Why is Egon blonde? Because otherwise you'd have three brown-haired white guys that would look almost identical. Why do they all four have different colored jumpsuits? Well, because Gray looks like crap in a colorful cartoon. Not only that, when you put out the action figures, you want them to look distinctly different, so you have to buy all four of them. All of these things were, I kid you not, part of the reasoning for why they look the way they do. This stylized look was very, very intentional for those reasons. And so these were the only toys that we got were in this line. And it wasn't until after Ghostbusters Afterlife that they went back and started doing, not only re-releasing a lot of the old toys from real Ghostbusters, but doing that style of figures using the likenesses of the original Ghostbusters. So you could finally get movie accurate Ecto-1. You could get movie accurate Ghostbusters and so forth. They even started doing, the supporting cast as well. So yeah, there's a lot of great toys out there. And that's what this all was about. It was a toy line. But the stories were well told. They had good writers that told really scary stories. They got into some Cthulhu-esque type stuff.
One of my favorite episodes was when the guys are working on the subway and there's a little door there and the door says, "Do not open until doomsday." And I'm thinking, like, this is something biblical or something, like this is something you humans were meant to discover. Why don't you wall it up? And no, I'm not going to let some stupid talking door tell me what to do. We got to dig this tunnel. Then so they open it up and then everything goes wrong.
Right, of course. Exactly.
And because of the New York attitude. This was my favorite episode of the Real Ghostbusters. This was the Holes in the House. Remember this? I think J. Michael Straczynski wrote this from Babylon 5, where they would shoot a hole in the house and a ghost would pop out of the hole. Remember?
I don't remember this particular episode.
And they would keep and they would keep going in there. And there's a scene where Ray somehow his head gets stuck in one of the holes. They pull him out. His hair's gone white, and he goes,
"Wow!"
And he goes, I think I shall never see anything as lovely as a tree. Yeah, like he went nuts, and then he said, Ray, snap out of him. He said, what did you see? And he said, the Twilight Zone, the Outer Limits. I love Lucy. No, basically, he went into this weird ghost dimension where these horrible things were coming from, and they said, well, let's just destroy all the holes. And they kept zapping down the walls, and then they said, oh, wait a minute, we just made the biggest hole we could have made, and then another hole, and the bigger the hole, the bigger the ghost thing that pops out of it. It was a great Ghostbusters episode. It was just
I'll have
wonderful.
to check it out. I do have as many as are available on DVD. They have not released the entire series.
Oh, yeah, Kolchak mentions the Boogeyman episode and Sam Haim. I almost had those in here too, but I only do 3 clips each.
Which have all gotten toys now in the modern era, in the style of the Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so great cartoon, one of my favorites from the 80s. I have nothing but good things to say about it. I need to look into getting this for myself on a DVD at some point. I'm hoping they'll do a Blu-ray release, but who knows? They probably would have done that by now. Yeah, rewatched the Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
So many great episodes of this. I loved the episode where our consultants on the original movie. I think Egon even reads off the actor's
Oh, that's
names.
funny.
That's interesting. And yeah, you were alluding to so they actually did a toy tie-in with Ecto. I don't remember what it was called, but they had like translucent versions using the same molds of the 4 characters in the Ecto outfit from that first episode.
Oh, interesting.
And in the modern day, they have done Louis Tully in that style, and I think they did one for Janine as well when she was in the Ghostbuster outfit.
That's right. That was an episode where she had to suit up because they were stuck, and it had to be up to Janine to save the day. I remember that episode. Yeah, I don't have any pictures of Janine here. I like the way they made her look on the show. They gave her a punk look.
In fact, so this cartoon was happening between the time of the first movie and the second movie. So when you next see Annie Potts as Janine in the second movie, she's changed her hairstyle to more closely match what's in the cartoon.
I remember that. Great cartoons show, and I like to think it's canon with the movie universe too. I don't think there's anything that says it can't.
I don't think there's any reason why it doesn't have to be. In your head canon, it totally fits. There's no reason not to. In fact, I've seen some commentaries online, like diehard Ghostbusters enthusiasts like myself have really looked into it and said, there's a few things in Afterlife that definitely seem to nod to there was one of the toys, which was, of course, it showed up in the Real Ghostbusters, was this big ball-shaped ghost with very squat feet and a giant eyeball. And when you squeeze it, the eye would shoot out.
I had that toy.
And it dangled from the... Okay, so you remember that one. Well, that one shows up in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
You had to get the air just right, and so you could squeeze it and pop the thing out. I remember that. That was
they had
cool
pretty
cartoons. They all came with slime, all the figures. You got a little ghost with each Ghostbuster figure, and people complain, well, they didn't feature any of the ghosts from the cartoon. It's like, you know what? I use my imagination like I'm making up new episodes. That's what I did with them.
Yeah.
They didn't have to be the same ghost from the cartoon. It's fine.
And that's just exactly it. You wanted a different ghost all the time.
Yes.
There are an infinite number of ghosts. Otherwise, the stories end.
Now, let's kind of breeze through these next 3, and I'll have a reason why. But you have anything to say about He-Man?
So He-Man definitely was a Saturday morning cartoon. In its first run, it was Saturday mornings, but most of what I watched... What do we have here?
Kraken.
Is it?
Yes. Is that the glass you usually drink it in?
Yeah, but I usually... Woohoo! I usually mix it with root beer.
Okay, well, you got a tall glass here if you want to. But you got
wow, that's strong.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, let's cut that with a little bit of root beer. I wasn't ready for it.
Okay, he would say, I have the power.
Hold on just a second. Oh, wow. That's going to be a strong one, let me tell you. Let me, real quick. Give me a...
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken! The Kraken!
Why is the rum always gone?
Oof. Wow. Yeah, I don't usually do Kraken straight. That was, wow. I love it, but wow. Talk
you
about...
need a bigger glass?
I think I do. Yeah, I think I do.
Going to need a bigger
That's why I
boat.
said I needed that glass stein, and I didn't know what it was. I said glass stein.
I heard diamond, which is what that looks like to me.
Okay.
I had to send my drink back. Bartender made it wrong.
Nate, hold that thought. Hold that thought,
I
man.
did not make it wrong. I made it strong.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
People tip me extra for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just hold that thought.
When I'm done
bit,
drinking
man.
it, you're going to tip me, too.
Just hold that thought for a minute there, Nate.
Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say before I interrupted
We're
you?
just going to get back into He-Man. Just bring it back up, like I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
What are you
That's
doing
right.
here?
I'm drunk,
I have
man.
the power. That's what he would say, because he was...
There we go.
I never got into this. I know every other boy in the block liked it.
Wimp.
Me, who's a wimp?
She calls me a wimp because
I took a sip and it's not that strong.
There's Skeletor with his whiny voice, and he's holding a box there. I'm sure it's got something nasty.
It wasn't a whiny voice. That's what's his name? Oppenheimer? Rudy Wells from $6 Million Man.
Remember, Evil Lynn was hot. That's about what I remember from this show. But there's Cringer.
I'll tell you, I was just getting old enough that I would see Evil Lynn and I'd see Tila, and I'd be thinking, "Down chicka wow wow," and I was already thinking the adult parody of it in my head.
And then there was the gag of Evelyn. I thought your name was Evelyn.
I always thought your name was just Evelyn. Yeah, it was what was that? It was a Robot Chicken. She says, "That's it. I'm going to turn over a new leaf. I don't want to be evil anymore. I will from now on be good Lynn." Oh, Evil Lynn? I just thought your name was Evelyn.
All right, man. So there we go. We got the floating weirdo. Guy
You got
with the elf
Orko
ears.
Crag, yes.
Okay, is he the snarf of this series? Okay, I'm just
Pretty much,
just curious. I'm just okay. I anyway. You got what'd you like about this show?
The theme song mostly.
Okay, yeah,
And
that's a good theme song.
and I like the
rotoscoping.
toy tie-in. Interestingly, I liked the toy tie-in, but I did not get any of the toys. This was not something I chose to collect. It was a different scale from Star Wars, so I couldn't see myself getting into it. Some of my friends had gotten them, and I read the little cartoons, the comics that came with them, which were a little different from the TV show.
Those I might have liked more if I had gotten my hands on those. I think probably
those little because you had
were they more like a Conan style thing?
Yeah, because
okay,
and they were just making it up as they went because they had no idea. These were toys that had no story,
right?
And that's when they started doing this cartoon to market those toys. But the thing about it was, some of them. Oh yeah, Netter has a couple of them.
That's the only two I have that, to my knowledge.
Let me go big.
Let me see.
Real quick. Let me go big.
Okay.
So we have the original He-Man.
Yeah.
And the later. Well, wait a minute. We got to do this right. We got to do this right.
Chest bursts open and stuff shoots out of it or something.
And we've got the armor damage.
I remember those. I did think those were cool. I had friends who had these. I used to mess with
Yeah,
them around.
these were the later ones that came out. Now, I will tell you something else about these figures.
Did I have any He-Man figures?
Some of these you can get a ton of these figures. Loose like this without accessories and whatnot in like bargain bins when you go to a convention or a comic book store or something. What's cool about them is if you know how to disassemble figures, pop the arms off and stuff. This torso is perfectly in scale with the Mego bodies. So if you want a more ripped but still the same size torso, you can very easily customize a He-Man or He-Man-esque figure. Just, the arms are a little short, the legs are a little short, the head is smaller than Mego, but that torso, perfect. That is not Orko in drag, that's Driel. Are you sure? Are you sure? I think it might be like Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man. You never saw them on screen together, and that's because the actor was in a double role.
All right.
But I'm sorry, I got to go back to this.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay, moving on. All right, let's go to She-Ra, Princess of Power.
She-Ra and Princess of Power. I wasn't as big a fan of this.
Same verse as the first. What is this? This is
this literally was when He-Man ended. They started She-Ra, and so it basically was the sequel to He-Man. So I continued on with this, but they definitely were writing it more to the female audience. And the worst part about it was the toys were not in scale with the He-Man figures. So, which is really weird because the villain, the evil Hordak, was done not in the She-Ra toy line and scale, but in the He-Man toy scale. It was just, this literally was the stupidest thing Mattel ever did, and it totally killed the He-Man toy line. And the She-Ra never really took off that much as a toy.
But I do remember, though, that...
and then, I don't know who the character was on the left, I forget, but she came off as... Witchy Poo in Orko cosplay to me. I'm like, this is stupid.
Well, I heard J. Michael Straczynski wrote some episodes of this, though, too.
There were probably some very good episodes. The whole origin story was really good.
Yeah.
I felt obliged to add G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. I watched it a bit. I did. I did not collect the toys, even though they were in the appropriate
Star Wars scale.
They were in Star Wars scale. Yeah. And I did,
they had good vehicles, too, as I recall. Yeah.
They absolutely did.
Yeah.
A great world building, same as Star Wars. So here's the thing, right? Star Wars was 5 POA. 5 points of articulation. The arms didn't bend, the knees didn't bend. The legs and the arms moved and they were straight, right? G.I. Joe added swivel hands, knee and elbow joints.
Yes, I remember that.
There was that. So what I did was I would go and get, at the bargain bin, a bunch of loose G.I. Joe figures, didn't care what they were. I'd buy them up. I would cut the legs and the elbows, right? So that I had the joints. And I would do the same to my 1990s Power of the Force 5 POA figures. And I'd use the joints to give articulation to the stormtroopers and the so forth, so they could actually hold, the gun the way, Joe, is that Flint, the way Flint is there. Anyway, my history with G.I. Joe goes back to the early 70s when it was a 12-inch figure. And I had a G.I. Joe, and I had a lot of the accessories. And then in the 80s, early 80s, maybe it was late 70s, early 80s, I'm not sure, they went to the 9-inch Mego scale. So that was the G.I. Joe Adventure Team. So I started getting into those Joes. By the time they got down to Star Wars scale, which was after Kenner's 3 3/4 inch, I'm like, I am too invested now in Star Wars to get into the G.I. Joe figures. But I did watch the shows. I did, appreciate the people that did collect them. I did recently see on X, the Babylon Bee shared one of their satire articles. Theologians have discovered that when you die and go to heaven, everybody gets a USS Flag. The big aircraft carrier from the G.I. Joe toy line. But part of the reason I have a special affinity for this brand of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, is that Netter and I are actually in a G.I. Joe comic. There you go. Did you know that? And at some point, I am going to have the gentleman on who is responsible for putting us into that comic.
That's going to be cool.
As a guest, yeah.
And, of course, we have Cobra Commander and Destro. Is that his name?
Yep, both of which you never see their face. And there's a bit of mystery. Fans came up with all these theories that both of them were like badly scarred, and so they put these masks on so you couldn't see their faces, and so on and so forth. And when they put out the 12-inch figure of that Cobra Commander there, the far, with that style of head, because there was another one where he had like a metal like visor type thing head. This is just the cloak. They put that out, and people were. It wasn't supposed to be removable, but of course it's just glued onto another head. So people peeled it off and like, hey, he's just normal underneath. And
well, what's wrong with that?
But then you question the canonicity of the face underneath on the action figure when it's supposed to be glued on. You're not supposed to be able to remove it. Was this just another figure that just standing in for the head? Time for a boomer buzzkill. Okay,
this is where Troy's going to yell at me, but I got to lay down some truth bombs here. This is from some forum, I think, on a Song of Ice and Fire forum. I need to address an issue that has been a long-held pet peeve of mine. I put the usernames anonymous, okay, so you don't see it. It may seem pick-a-uni, whatever that is, and it's always been a source of frustration when I encounter this wrong categorization.
No, real quick, let me because I'm a grammar type of guy. Picayune is a term that means like actually, that concept. Yeah, exactly.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was not a Saturday morning cartoon. She-Ra, Princess of Parter, was not a Saturday morning cartoon. G.I. Joe was not a Saturday morning cartoon. Robotech was not a Saturday morning cartoon. And there are many other examples, including Voltron, Defender of the Universe, Mask, Jason the Wheeled Warriors, Thundercats, Silverhawk, Spectre Gadget, Heathcliff, Challenge of the GoBots, Rambo the Force of Freedom, Bionic 6, Dinosaurs, and animated Dennis the Menace series.
Congratulations, you actually'd me.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Joe's Atmosphere celebrates 7 months of membership. Never watched the show in the 80s. I was G.I. Joe for real by then. MP. Love my 12-inch posables. My favorite set was the White Tiger set. Hell. Dude. Another channel member. Analog Toys. Tony Roberts. If you have not been following him, you need to follow him. He grew up in the UK and then emigrated to Australia. So he is an Action Man guy, and he's got plenty of videos talking about the connection between Action Man and G.I. Joe. So later in life, he started getting into G.I. Joe because it kind of supported his Action Man thing. And they ran parallel. The 12-inch figures that you were just talking about shared molds and play sets and stuff like that across companies and countries, as well as 3 3/4-inch action figures. They had Action Man, we had G.I. Joe. They named things different. They had some different figures than we did. Some very interesting stuff. You should really be following his channel. Sorry, get back to giving me shit.
No, we're done. I couldn't read this.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the weird thing, though. Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, oddly enough,
Yes.
I did research on this. That is both a weekday afternoon cartoon and a Saturday morning cartoon, because the initial run of the first bunch of episodes were on for 2 years, I think, on some network like ABC or NBC. But then Sony ordered 65 episodes made for a syndicated run, and then maybe they took those original episodes and threw them in with the 65.
And that's how a lot of the ones on Netter's list.
We're gonna get into that.
She's got some that are earlier than mine, but keep in mind, she's talking about cartoons that predate her that she didn't see until
Saturday morning. They were on Saturday morning. Yes.
You know where I'm going with this, because originally they were prime time, weekly. Real quick, I want to just finishing off the last point that I made. Kuel, is that a Kryptonian reference? No, I'm joking. If you go to the description below, I'm sorry I did not have a chance to tag all the members as I usually do. I was running late this evening. I had technical difficulties getting these slideshows loaded for some reason. But if you go check out the description below, just copy the @Analog Toys, drop it into your YouTube search, and it'll bring up the channel. No problem.
Now look at this. It's the boys, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The boys are back in town.
Do you have a favorite turtle?
Yes, Raphael. Ask me
why.
Because when I played the video game, his moves were the ones that I could do the best.
It's funny, I say Donatello because he was my favorite in the game, but as I watched the movies later on, not so much the Raphael on this cartoon because he's just kind of obnoxious, but in the movies,
actually, when I wasn't
playing
Raphael, if like someone else, if I was playing with someone, because remember it was a 4-player game, potentially a 4-player game.
Yes.
If I was joining someone who was already playing Raphael, I played Donatello. I really actually liked some of the moves with the bow staff too.
Leonardo had good moves. I think Mikey was the worst in those games, but Raph I always liked in the movies because he had a chip on his shoulder.
Well, wait, can you go back to the four of them?
Yes, go back.
So we're gonna get a little into video games here. This is a lot like Ghostbusters. There is a Ghostbusters, I want to say it was NES game.
Yes. Also on computers and also on the Sega Master System. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the Ghostbusters, the 3 white guys, were different in their stats in that each one had one stat that was higher than the others. Whereas Winston was, because he was the everyman, right? He had the most even
I see.
Of scores. Same was kind of true with the at least the arcade game of the, I don't know about any console versions of it, of the Ghostbusters, of the Turtles, Raphael, Donatello, and Leonardo had different better skills, and Michelangelo was the average across the board of them. Thank you so much, Joe's Atmosphere. He says, last 12-inch possible I had was a 6 mil. Okay, well, that's actually a little bit bigger than 12-inch. I think that was like 14 inches, 13, 14 inches. But yeah, $6 million. You could look through the back of his to magnify stuff far away. Yes, yes. Honestly, if you aren't following both Analog Toys and Retro Blasting, and we'll promote both of those more next week. Both of them have a lot of videos about both of those. In fact, Analog Toys just last month did a great, or maybe it was the month before. Time is going too quickly. Just did a great $6 Million Man retrospective. Look into it.
I enjoyed this cartoon. It had almost a similar humor style to Ghostbusters, Real Ghostbusters. Probably almost wonders if they could have taken place in the same universe, even though they're dealing with different things.
Ghostbusters and yeah, absolutely. Well,
yeah.
There is. This isn't
a comic book.
This isn't true, but it's a headcanon for a lot of people that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles exist in the Marvel Universe, and that the ooze, that the secret of the ooze is that it's the same thing that caused Matt Murdock to lose his sight and become Daredevil.
So anyway, we have
because in the comic, they parody that scene.
Who's the turtle in blue?
Leonardo.
Leonardo leads.
That was my favorite.
Of course.
Leonardo leads. Donatello does machines. Raphael's cool but rude, and he's worse in the movies. He's more like he has.
Okay. So we've already got it. So we've got it. Netters is there was a female one, wasn't there?
On a live action show.
Screw it. Netter's going to be the gender swapped Leonardo. I'll be Raphael and you're Donatello. Boom. There we go.
There we go.
What about the one?
Well, we'll get deleted scenes in here. He gets
Michelangelo. Anyway, look, we have Bebop and Rocksteady, our go-to thugs on this show, right?
They kind of scared me. Yeah.
Created by the Shredder, and the evil Krang, which was an evil brain from Dimension X. There's the.
Would
Shredder
you look at
Krang.
this? I start talking about retro blasting and analog toys. Tim Hayes shows up. I'm kidding, but yes, you came just at the right time. Make sure you get the word out to them and let them know I was burning their ears off talking about them.
I remember the show was a lot of fun.
I want popcorn. Thanks a lot, Boomer.
Make it tomorrow night for your. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Popcorn can actually be a light snack if you don't put too much butter on it.
Actually, it's the carbs of the popcorn that's probably.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know they had carbs.
Oh yeah. That's what that is. That. So I was talking with Netter about this just this evening. In fact, corn actually is full of starch. But let's just say you don't metabolize most of it.
Okay.
You think that through, you understand, right?
Yes, I do.
But when you pop it, all that starch goes poof, and you absolutely metabolize it.
Anyway, fun show. Like the toys, though I was too old for toys at this point, but I got into the games like no tomorrow.
Of course you did. Of course.
And maybe I'll do that for good old days this Sunday. I'll talk about the games on home console since you didn't experience those. I'll explain to you what was going on with those.
Fair enough. Sure.
But there we go. And this is the Shredder is always the greatest supervillain of all time. I don't care what anybody says, even though he's the most ridiculous on this show.
I'm not sure why you have to apologize for that. I'm just trying to figure out what your logic is. Why does Deleted have to be Raphael and me Michelangelo? I don't get it.
Because Deleted Scenes has rage issues that are just bubbling under the surface. Okay, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh no, I don't think so. Not like me. Ask Netter.
Anyway,
Netter will tell you.
Let's move on. I want to try to get to Netters before I got to kick out.
Okay.
I'll stay up a little later than I was planning. It's all right. Look, there we go. It's about a musical group called the Chipmunks, right?
The Chipmunks and of course, the Chipettes. Yeah. Which I thought they were so adorable. I really did. I was just young enough that if I was a little older, I'd be looking at Britney and probably getting a little furry-ish. But no, I was young enough not to. It was really my brother that was the huge fan of these guys. But honestly, I got to say about this cartoon, this was a great cartoon to bring. I don't think my brother and I are supposed to be the same generation, right? But he was more than 6 years younger than me, so it almost felt like he was a different generation. So me, my brother, and my mom all kind of loved the Chipmunks because, let's face it, the Chipmunks started with my mom's era with the Chipmunk songs, right? The Christmas Time is Here and Witch Doctor and all that. That was the 1960s. But then, they brought them back in the 80s, and it was like, wow, this is cross-generational is what I'm basically getting at.
Yeah, well, that was cool how they would reinvent things. There's Dave looking like he's in a panic as always.
And let me say, we also had a lot of the albums because, again, my brother, was real into that. There was an album called Urban Chipmunk. It was a lot of their albums were just chipmunk parodies of popular songs, right? And Urban Chipmunk was chipmunk versions of country songs at that time when we were going through that urban cowboy era. And one of the songs was the Chimpettes singing with Tammy Wynette, Stand by Your Man, right? But you know how the Chipmunks do. The shtick is they change the lyrics and, Alvin, like they were saying in the chat there. Well, Tammy Wynette does the same thing to Britney because, and if you love him, be proud of him, 'cause after all, he's just a jerk. Britney, sorry, Tammy. Stand by your man, Chipmunk.
Funny.
So yeah, I'm sorry. Oh man, I thought that the Long Island iced tea was gonna go to my head. It's always the Kraken.
Look, it's Batmonk. That was from season 8 when they were doing parodies.
The Batmonk.
And Alvin plays the jokester in it.
The jokester.
And it's
awesome.
Simon playing Batmonk, yes. And it was basically a redo of them redoing the Batman '89, but with chipmunks, yes.
I love it.
It was a parody.
Yeah, parody is great.
All right, and then one honorable mention left for you, Thundar the Barbarian. I've seen a couple episodes of this.
Yes, you know what, guys? I thought this was a video that Michael French had put out on his channel. It's not a public video. It's only for Patreon members. So maybe consider just go check out his channel. See if it's worth it. Do a month's membership on his Patreon and check this out. He does an interview with the guy that created Thundar the Barbarian.
And it's not a lot to be a Patreon member.
No, it's a very, very nominal fee. Do you still have a membership, Boomer, or do I have to renew your membership?
I don't know, but you don't have to. I could always do it myself, but I don't think I did for
you
a
should.
while.
He's got some great content. He does a lot of behind-the-scenes type stuff and whatnot. Little rants that he doesn't do publicly. But he does this great interview. Actually, this was an old interview he had done. He and his wife, Melinda, had done with the creator of Thundar the Barbarian. I got a whole new appreciation for this. I was aware of it, didn't watch it avidly. I saw it as like a Conan ripoff, and I saw Ookla the Mock as being, I looked at this and I saw Dark Side, and Ookla was basically the Chewbacca ripoff. I had no idea until I saw this interview where all of this came from. I'll give you one little spoiler. I don't think Michael would mind if I shared this. Yeah. Do you know where the name Ookla the Mock comes from?
No.
Ookla. So he was in France And some people came up to him in France, and he said, "Oh, you're American." "Yeah, I'm American. Can you help us out? We're trying to find a brand that you have in the United States that we don't know how to get here. Where can we get the Ookla shirts?" And he looks at me and goes, "Ookla? What do you mean Ookla?" He said, "Ookla. It says Ookla on the shirt. UCLA." And he's like, "Oh," and then of course he explains it to them and how they can, if they really want them, how they can get them. But that's where Ookla came from. That was his little nod to that conversation he had in France.
This show reminds me of they took Oliver Stone's original treatment for Conan the Barbarian, which was going to be like in a post-apocalyptic Mad Max style world, and that's what they went with.
I'm not going to say any more.
Watch the
you
interview.
You should really do a month of Patreon membership over there on
Good stuff.
Michael's channel. See this interview, because honestly, I was aware of the show. I kind of liked it. It was kind of good, but I was kind of aging out of these kinds of cartoons. I remember this exact freeze frame you have comes from the opening.
Yep.
And his face changes. If they
It would
did an
flip
action
around,
figure of
yes.
it, if they did an action figure of it, it would have a face on the other side. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And the creator explains the whole story about how he got the job. He had gotten out of the military, was looking to get into, I think he was looking to get into live action, but they got him into animation, and oh gosh, it's a great story. And they asked him to do a pitch. He did a pitch for this, and they're like, "We love it. It's an incredible story. I can't even do it justice. You gotta check it out."
All right. Geek Flex says the show was a little bit Conan, a little bit Star Wars, and a whole lot of crazy. I buy
Look at that artwork there. Look at that artwork.
It's good.
Tell me that's not Jack Kirby, Commandy.
Don't bring up.
There's definitely an inspiration there. Why? Because Jack Kirby was involved in this. There's a great story about the creator of Thunder the Barbarian meeting Jack Kirby and not knowing it was Jack Kirby.
They did episodes of Batman, the Brave and the Bold, where Batman goes into the far future, meets Commandy. You can tell them people that made Batman, the Brave and the Bold, they were desperate. They want to make a Commandy series, but
I know. There is so much in DC Comics that has not been done. It doesn't need to be in your shared universe thing. You can make it its own thing. The Losers. Friggin' do The Losers. A World War II era story.
I'd watch it. Anyway, bring up Netter's thing. Let's get through it, man.
Saturday Morning Cartoons, Netter's picks.
Now, Netter, I feel, goes very classic, and it's interesting, because I was checking hers, too, seeing, are all of these really Saturday morning cartoons? And the answer for all of them is actually yes, and I'll explain. People may see one of them on here and said, that was a primetime cartoon. You are correct, sir. However, it eventually became repurposed and put on Saturday mornings, which is probably where Netter and a bunch of other kids saw it.
Let's be clear about this. I provided you with the dates. When they originally premiered, Netter was probably too young to have watched them in prime time.
But she probably watched them
later. He caught them in syndication on Saturday mornings.
Yep.
So our first big one is, of course, the Jetsons.
Yeah. The Jetsons were kind of cool. I mean, you had the family with the mom, dad, the two kids, and Rosie the robot.
Let me get Rosie.
And of course, he had an awful boss.
Did you know I created Rosie in Fallout 4?
Did you?
Well,
I am doing a side story. I've started. I didn't finish my original Fallout run. I didn't play it out to the end because I was having so many glitches. I said, screw it. I reloaded it on the new computer and started over. And I'm fixing a lot of the mistakes that I made the first playthrough. One of the things I'm doing, if you're not playing Fallout, you probably have no idea what the frick I'm talking about. But I have all these different settlements, and between the settlements, you have caravans bringing goods and services back and forth between them. Instead of having humans that can get killed, I just create robots and say, go to this Go to this town and bring them stuff. And if something happens to them, I'll just create a new one. But one of them I created was Rosie. Anyway, go on, Netta.
Yes. So, George Jetson had this awful boss. I want to know why in all these cartoons, the boss was always this really short guy with a bad temper.
Mr. Spacely.
Is that guy right there?
Yep, that's Mr. Spacely of Spacely Space Sprockets.
But even like in the Flintstones, his boss was... Oh, no, he was taller. His boss was taller.
Look at what she's hitting him in the head with. That is a very 1960s thing. That's a pineapple Jell-O loaf. Yes, it is.
Okay.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's like they always had these mishaps with technology and of course the dog. I forgot the dog.
Astro,
who sort of talked.
Kind of the same way that Scooby-Doo did.
But there's always some mishap that they had to get through. There was one.
Oh, he got me started. I'm sorry, I got to do this, Netter. Meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy, daughter Judy, Jane, his wife. That was really the whole song, wasn't it? That's all there was. Much. It was really all music.
So you were saying, Netter.
Yes. Before I was so brutally interrupted. The sister, Judy, right? She Judy. Had written down her feelings for a boy. And her brother found it. And her brother was trying to enter this song contest. And
I remember this one, yes! Sorry. I get excited.
He took her song, added extra lyrics to it, and it turned into this pop hit.
Yes.
I don't remember the song, though.
It was, I know this. It was, something means I love you.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'll bet Geek Flag knows, or somebody in the chat's gonna. Eep, orp, op, ah.
Yes.
That means I love you.
Yeah.
Welcome, by the way, Mark Malnikoff. Very good, Mark. You're the one that got it.
And he ended up winning this contest because they thought the song was great. And, of course, she's mortified because it's like, oh, my gosh, those were my private thoughts and da-da-da. And because there's no name mentioned in the song, it was just kind of like, they ended up being proud of him after all because, he had done this thing.
Yes.
But that was like the episode that stuck out to me the most. Because it's like, a little kid doing what he thinks is just some innocent little thing. Like, I'm going to take this poem that my sister wrote, I'm going to turn it into a song. It's going to be neat.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I honestly had a very... So this is what you call retrofuturism, right? This is an idea of what the future would be like based on...
Yes, but I find it hard to believe that in the future you're still reading newspapers.
Yeah, see, that's a great point, I mean, so many of the things that they did, it's very, very different from the way things turned out. But I love when he's like, he was working so hard that he ended up with push button finger, which of course is a ha because all he does is press a button. He's not doing any real physical manual labor. Well, now we live in an age where carpal tunnel syndrome is a real thing. And it's like, wow, right? He talks about, I worked so hard. This 4-hour work week is killing me. Because so much technology.
Funny.
You have a less hours but that does kind of nod and poke at the fact that we have a lot of menial jobs that are going away because they're all being automated.
And if you look at the picture, you see all that food being thrown on the table. Obesity. You can see the little boy is a little chubby.
Yep.
That's
actually a good point. I hadn't really thought about it.
It was so much, and of course in the cartoon, none of it got wasted. It's like it all just, one chomp and it's all gone. But it's like, that's way too much food for that family of 4. I mean, especially all those pancakes in front of the little boy.
It's abundance.
For the whole family, but it's like, I only see the one plate.
I feel like I'm missing a little context here, Nate. Janet Waldo, the legendary original voice of Judy Jetson for the 1960s.
There was a Jetsons movie, I think, that came out, and then they had Tiffany do something. I don't know. I hadn't seen the movie. I can't speak to it.
Oh, okay.
In the 80s, I believe.
Gotcha.
Shall we move on to the Pebbles and Bam Bam show?
Yep.
Okay. I had seen a couple episodes of this. I didn't really care for it.
I got to be honest with you. When I saw it, this was when I started taking a little bit of interest in redheads.
Pebbles, man, and Bam Bam. I assume they were dating. And
I do like blondes, but I went through a little redhead phase back in the early 80s.
I think I watched a couple episodes of this myself, and I was like, I still prefer regular Flintstones. That guy
Holy
looks
crap,
like a nerd.
I actually remember those characters. The three in the back that were the supporting characters.
Yeah,
I have no idea what
I think Troy added this one on my list because I didn't.
Because technically she said Flintstones, and Flintstones weren't a Saturday morning cartoon. But they did in the late 70s, early 80s. They kind of... Actually, you got the dates. I sent you all the dates. I actually bothered to look up the dates of all of these cartoons. But the Saturday morning, they decided to spin off Pebbles and Bam Bam and made them into teenagers.
Yeah. I didn't care for the show myself.
Okay.
It was a little odd, and they've kind of revisited that in the modern age. But let's go ahead.
I mean, there was an episode of the Flintstones where something happened to, I think it was just Pebbles, where suddenly she became a teenager, and her dad, of course, didn't recognize her because she's a teenager, not a baby.
Right.
And she's having all sorts of issues because she's trying to get back to being a baby again. And there's just a lot of, like, miscommunication and confusion and all this while she's trying to get back.
I'd actually forgotten that. That's probably a big influence on this.
Yeah, but I didn't care for this show at all. Next.
Fair enough.
Johnny
Quest.
Johnny Quest.
Very classic. Yeah.
Look at that.
You got, and this was
Wait a minute.
one of
I'm going to move Netter's icon. Let's see. That's 1963. For those of you that can't read Roman numerals. 1963. That Netter was pretty young at the time, so that she actually did catch this. Not in its original run, probably, but in Saturday.
It would have had to have been Saturday morning cartoons. I was 1.
I know. That is my point. Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I remember watching Johnny Quest, and this is probably another one of those things where if it was done today, it would be like, oh, you can't have an Indian best friend type thing, and they would have made it a whole racial issue.
Actually, she's right. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, it's like...
what is he, their pet? That's people say.
Yeah,
it's like I just remember them always stumbling upon something and having to solve a mystery.
I wonder, is this the first cartoon appearance of a pug? Just wondering.
It might be. By the way, the show The Venture Brothers.
Yes, very much a parody.
Mercilessly, it's like how Austin Powers tears apart James Bond. The Venture Brothers kind of tears apart. Johnny
You're
Quest.
absolutely right about
that. If you ever see it, it makes fun of everything from that period. It makes fun of the Fantastic Four because you have an analog for them showing up on it. But going on though, this looks pretty cool though. Look at that mummy, huh?
I know.
It was a mummy episode.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was kind of like Scooby-Doo with 2 adults and 2 children.
And there was a recurring villain, Dr. Zinn, I believe was his name, right? Kind of like their Goldfinger, I guess. Or their Blofeld.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. I remember they made some made-for-TV movies that were like follow-ups to this in the 80s, and they looked rather well done. And you actually find out how Johnny Quest's mom died. It was this whole thing, and like I think Dr. Zinn
That's some
was
pretty...
and stuff.
See, and this is 1960s cartoons. They didn't... They got into some story there, and they didn't mollycoddle the children. I like that. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's one thing about these type of cartoons is that, like Troy said, they did not, oh, we have to make this really children friendly. It's like they said it like it was, and kids either it went over their head or they're like, wow, that's something.
Did you know there were follow-up cartoons to this? They made one in the 1980s for Saturday Morning, which was like a follow-up series, and they did another one in the 90s on TNT as well, where they were sort of updating it. But I don't know if you care for those.
I never saw those.
This is a great lore comment. Dr. Benton Quest officially adopted Haji, often spelled Haji Singh, after the brilliant street-smart orphan saved both the doctor and Johnny from an assassination attempt in India. Yeah, I mean, it was actually really good. For people that they're just looking for reasons to be offended, and they invent them in their own heads.
Yes.
Without looking objectively at the story and going, hey, that's actually a very uplifting...
Do you think Haji was an inspiration for Short Round for Temple of Doom?
I never thought about that, but yeah, that makes sense, right?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, this is a classic cartoon. I've heard good things about it. I need to watch it myself one of these days and just catch the whole thing.
I think especially since you watched Venture Brothers, I think you'll have a great.
Well, I have some passing knowledge of this. Yeah.
Huh?
Venture.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Well, but I do give Venture Brothers credit for one thing. They're not like, it's not like with that Velma show where it is the thing, because they didn't just make fun of Johnny Quest.
It's parody.
They're analogs.
Not literal.
They're analogs, but they're not the same.
I got a question for you about Venture Brothers. What's
Yes.
that meatball-looking thing?
No. That's a whole different.
You're thinking of Aqua Team Hunger Force.
Aqua Team Hunger.
That's another Adult Swim show. They were on around the same time.
Yeah.
Johnny Quest, though, I need to look at that. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? This was a favorite of mine as a child.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
I'm still convinced that Shaggy and Scooby were smoking the wacky weed because they were always hungry.
Okay.
So I gotta say, as
what do you
a
think's
kid,
in the Scooby snacks? That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, that was the thing too, right? It's like you think Scooby snacks, you think, okay, these are dog biscuits.
No.
Why is Shaggy so into these things?
There's some special ingredient in there.
Well,
there's that. Okay, so growing as a kid, right? As a kid, Daphne was like the girl, right? She was but I'll tell you what, when I got a little bit older, Velma, by the time they put out that movie, I was like, I'm thinking maybe I'm a little bit more Team Velma. You know?
I remember they made fun of the Scooby-Doo on Venture Brothers by having them all have stand-ins as like famous serial killers. Like Daphne, instead of it being Daphne, it was Patty, as in Patty Hearst. It was, I think, Velma was the one that shot Andy Warhol, and Shaggy was based on Sonny, which was like the son of Sam, and he's the only one that could hear the dog talk.
Holy God, I could totally see that.
And I forgot who Fred was. They were all based on different serial killers.
Holy crap, dude, that's like brilliant.
It was so bad. But no, I remember liking this cartoon. I used to catch the one that came out later where they had the two-parters where they'd meet Sonny and Cher or Don Knotts. I remember those.
And Batman. And Batman and Robin, yeah.
Yeah, they did an episode. I have to say, though, Netter, when I was a child, I always got fooled. I always thought the monster was real, and then I'd be like, what? It was the old man at the beginning that owns the amusement park? I always thought it was the monster. I was so little, I was like, wait, what? And it threw me off.
After a certain point, it's like, dude.
Nope, every time.
Do you not get the formula? Every time.
Boomer is a slow learner, okay?
I guess,
right?
I guess.
What did you think, Netter? Were you ever duped by this show? Like...
No, it's like Troy said, I figured out the formula, and it was always the same thing. It's like, okay, this real estate developer wants these people out of here, so he's going to have...
And the worst part is you're like, oh, damn, I kind of like that guy. He's going to turn out to be the bad guy, isn't he?
It's always someone likable, too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd have gotten away with it, too, if it hadn't been for you kids.
You meddling kids.
You meddling kids, right, exactly. Nicole Jaffe, was the original voice actress for Velma, and the cartoon character of Velma was changed to look like her, and the bit about her keep losing her glasses was something she did often. That I love that kind of lore. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that, Nate.
Now,
They
if
did.
I wore my glasses all the time and would lose them, I'd have them on one of those little chain things around my neck.
Right.
They did a made-for-video movie. You know, I mentioned Batman the Brave and the Bold. It was Scooby-Doo meets Batman the Brave and the Bold, and it was basically actually having the Scooby-Doo characters in the Batman the Brave and the Bold universe.
Well, that seems fair, right?
Yeah, and like, frankly, I thought Plastic Man was acting a little inappropriate around Daphne in that. He was trying to flirt with her, and I'm like, dude, you're married with a kid at home. I've seen it in a past episode.
Mark, I have no comment because my wife is sitting directly across from me.
Anyways,
dear, I could still throw things at you.
Classic show.
I will not incriminate myself on stream.
You know, they made a Super Nintendo game based on this, and it was almost like a simplified version of those old PC adventure games. But what's fascinating about the Super Nintendo game is it had all the music cues from the original show, like not just the main theme, but you know, like all those theme songs you'd hear on the show, like in the background. It would have that in the background in the game, and I think the different segments were based on different episodes. Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah. But who was your favorite character, Netter?
Oh, gosh. Well, they each had their different attributes. I didn't really think Daphne was all that intelligent. Fred seemed to have his head on straight.
Yeah.
He was like the most logical one.
He had an ascot, too.
Well, I hated that ascot. I thought it was stupid.
Well, that was a thing at the time, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I didn't really care for big dogs, so it definitely wasn't Scooby. I think I'd have to say of those people, it was between Velma and Fred. Those two were the ones that seemed to be the most intelligent, had their head on straight, really thought things through. Everybody else kind of came across things by accident. Oh, look! Isn't this the costume that the bad guy was wearing? Or whatever, you know, the ghost was wearing?
Right.
Hey, look, Scoob, here's a door! Huh?
Yes. Well, I used to like Shaggy because Shaggy and Scoob's reaction to things are like when I'm a kid. That's how I'd be reacting in this situation. I'd be
they are meant to be the child.
Yes,
insert. I get why people ascribe Shaggy with the whole beatnik druggy type of thing, but
they're in a green van, dude.
Yeah. But
I'm sure when the back opens up, there's some smoke coming out. Okay,
which they very much nod to in the live action, where you see all the smoke coming out, and then when you zoom in, you realize they're grilling up burgers. You know,
of course.
But putting that aside, they were meant to be the analogs to diffuse the scariness, right? Yes. So they're letting the kids know, this is your insert, and we understand that you would be scared. Stick with us. We're going to make fun of it, and then in the end, you're going to see there was nothing to be afraid of.
Classic cartoon.
Yeah. Hanna-Barbera, love it, guys.
Yeah. Moving on to Wacky Races. I've never seen this, but I know
of it. Dude, this was a fuzzy memory for me. I'm so glad Netter brought it up.
The dog was always...
Is this inspired by that one movie, like with the Push the Button Max, the what is it, with Tony Curtis in it and stuff?
What is that, the Daring Men and their flying machines?
Maybe those Magnificent Men and their flying machines. Yeah, because this is like this. I remember there was actually a Sega Dreamcast game that was made in this that was done, I think, in the style of Mario Kart, but it was Wacky Races. They got the license, and I don't know why they never brought that out on anything else, because that's a brilliant idea. Because it was basically all these different characters having the great race. Right?
Penelope Pit Stop. No, that's not Penelope Pit Stop.
I like Penelope Pit Stop. Then there was Snidely Whiplash.
Snidely Whiplash, right.
And you know what's got to happen right now, honey.
I was going to ask you if I should. Okay, here we go.
Shimmy left, shimmy right, Barty Fock is dancing tonight. Hearts go popping out his bum, wiggle, wiggle, here they come. Come. Cute as can be with a fluffy tail sway, spreading love in the silly this mess.
And Netter's over here literally doing that dance. Let me get back to
Farty Fox should get her own Saturday morning cartoon.
I know, right?
But that's, what's her name? Penelope something?
Penelope Pitstop. Yeah. I thought I had the wrong cartoon, but Netter confirmed it's Penelope.
These are all the different race cars on this show? All the different racers?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I swear
it was ridiculous. Yeah.
They did an episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold where all the heroes and villains have to go on this giant race, otherwise Mongol's going to blow up the earth. And I'm wondering if that was a nod to Wacky Races.
Sure.
It probably was a nod to Wacky Races.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Black
And you can see all the crazy vehicles that they used to race in. And it's like, and one or another would break down, and you'd have to figure out what's wrong with it and get it going again, so they can win the race. I don't think anyone ever actually won the race.
Well, maybe
if they did, it wasn't the important point. Yeah.
This round, and then you go on to the next stage. Yeah. Why don't they make a movie out of this?
Oh, God.
It would
be like a cartoon version of Fast and Furious, right?
Or just... right underneath Troy's face, that's Penelope Pitstop.
That's Penelope Pitstop right there, yeah.
There we go. I like her car.
I can't remember the names of anybody else there, but Penelope Pitstop was my favorite.
Yeah, of course.
And no, it's nothing to do with the pink.
Yeah, she just lived with the pink.
I was never a pink girl. I realized that, people associate pink with little girls. No, pink was not my thing. I was always a blue girl. It's like, I want blue, just blue. But I like Penelope Pitstop because I thought she was so cool.
Well, and here's the funny thing about this. You've got Penelope Pitstop in basically a stock car. Lower left-hand corner, you got a dragster. Middle right there, you've got a hearse. And to the left of that one, you got a friggin' tank. It's like, how are these all in the same race? I don't care.
It's a hearse. It's like a Rolls Royce.
Okay, whatever.
You probably get to design your own vehicle. That's probably the rule of the race. You can basically...
Probably. Hell, the top center is a friggin' boat.
Oh, that's funny. But no, I know this is another classic Hanna-Barbera. I wonder if that's a bear on the one car. Okay. Moving on to Underdog, another classic.
Okay, let's see how much of this I know. When in the something, the headlines read of those whose hearts are filled with greed, who rob and steal from those in need, who right this wrong with blinding speed, comes Underdog, speed of lightning, power of thunder, fighting all who rob and plunder. Underdog.
Demonetized.
And I'm demonetized. Yeah, exactly. So maybe
is this Superman?
I'm not asking for a tip for my singing, but
Is this Superman with a dog?
Basically, yeah, or kind of a parody thereof.
Is the one in the middle of the Lois Lane analog in the show?
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
He was Shoeshine Boy, and she was a reporter.
Yep.
And I can't remember her name though. I want to say it was something Prune. I could be way off.
I don't remember, but it was definitely alliteration.
Hyper Prune.
Alexa, in Underdog, what was Underdog's girlfriend's name?
Sweet Polly Purebred is Underdog's girlfriend.
Sweet Polly Purebred. That's
yes,
right. But again, the alliteration, the PT.
Well, I got the P part. So she was a reporter, and hopelessly in love with her, but of course she never noticed.
Do you remember who his Lex Luthor character was?
Can't remember the name.
His name was Simon Barr Sinister, and he decided, I could take over the world if I could become dictator. So he decided to run for dictator, and he would go door to door, and he would say,
"You know which cartoon I totally forgot about until just now?
What's that?
Dudley Do-Right.
Dudley Do-Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, same. I believe it was the same cartoon. But he would go door to door, and he said, "Excuse me, madam, I am running for dictator, and I wanted to ask for your vote so that I could become dictator." And people would be slamming the door in his face, and he's like, "I don't understand why no one wants to vote for me for dictator."
Yes. Now, what's interesting is that in the I want to say it was Underdog, that in the earliest cartoons, he just, maybe that was, it's either Underdog or it was Mighty Mouse. One, they would just make such a mess of things, make things even worse.
Sometimes that was Underdog, yeah. So this that you're showing here, I guess I got to move myself again. So the character on the left is actually Underdog, and of course the guy on the right is the
imposter.
You know that because he's smoking a cigar. Guy, so.
And does he have a bomb in his hand too?
He's got a bomb in his hand. He's got a polypurebred, attached to him. So, yeah.
Okay.
I remember this. I don't remember it as a Saturday morning cartoon myself. I remember it, after the afternoon.
Well,
daily,
I did check, and all
syndication.
Netters were on Saturday morning at some point.
No.
But sometimes when a show gets enough episodes, then it can become syndicated, and that's when it ends up everywhere else. Pink Panther's an odd one because these actually were theatrical shorts, but then they were later turned into the Pink Panther show that was shown on Saturday mornings. And
Henry Mancini's music.
Love this theme song.
And this is the only cartoon where the main character never said a blasted word.
Why? So that they could have an international audience. Yes.
I like the lady in the middle.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, I'm not going to
move yourself up again because you're covering the bottom.
Yeah, now I'm
actually. I need to stop talking about cartoon characters. I had the hot for because for starters, I skipped April O'Neil, so that's going to be a shame there.
Yeah.
But moving on to. And I don't know what this was, but yeah, this was these were fun cartoons, right? They used to have these in the movies too. When they would do the intro credits, they would have the Pink Panther doing
this would be the
stuff,
ones that they would play before. Yeah, people don't remember that, but back in the day, you'd get to the movie, and it wasn't. We're used to seeing trailers.
You get
before
shorts.
The movie. They used to have cartoons.
Yeah, along with this, they would have Sylvester and Tweety Bird.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon, a company will put out a cartoon. Disney did that I don't know when it was. Maybe it was 10 years ago at this point. But they did a Goofy cartoon. Remember the old Goofy instructional videos from back in the 60s?
Oh, yeah,
They did one now, but it was about him trying to set up his home entertainment center and dealing with all the plugs, and it was hilarious.
Ron, I can imagine,
It was actually based on like all of the modern nonsense we deal with when trying to get surround sound set up and everything else. But yeah, it was actually clever. I actually gave them points for that. But so Pink Panther. You anything left to say about this? We just move on.
No, it's like I just remember it being a fun cartoon, and him having to get quote unquote revenge on people or other animals that were doing wrong.
Well,
and that little old lady was not only in this, but she was also in the Sylvester and Tweety Bird.
No, it's a different.
It's
different,
similar.
But it's the same, similar style. I will say this. Between the Henry Mancini music from this and the Vince Guaraldi music from the Peanuts,
Charlie Brown, yeah,
that was absolutely my gateway to jazz. So that's a big part of why I am the way I am, Oh,
Schoolhouse Rock.
I am so glad that Netter. I didn't even think about this when I was putting my list together, but this is so Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah,
right.
From this, you learn about what a bill was. You learn adjectives and conjunctions and adverbs
and civics. That scene right there. Everybody of a certain age heard. He signed you, Bill. Now you're a law. Oh, yeah.
I'm just a bill up on Capitol Hill.
Yep.
And then this one.
This is the famous one.
The conjunction one.
Conjunction.
What's your function?
Hooking up words and phrases and clauses.
Conjunction, what's your function?
I got 3 favorite words to get most of my job done.
Yeah,
this is one Netter and I could totally do as a duet in
karaoke, man. Think about it.
Yeah.
Verb. That's what's happening.
Like, Lollies, 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 get your adverbs here.
That's right.
I know all these songs. I used to have the DVD set. I think I still do, actually. Disney actually
I
put
have
it
all
out.
of my DVD. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
But
Some of them
yeah.
are a little bit more modern that I didn't even know.
And this
Well, they made
particular
some newer
verb
ones
got
for the
this
DVD. Yeah.
Superhero verb.
Yes.
You know?
Because
Yeah.
he's an action guy, right?
Very, very 70s too. This all has a very 70s aesthetic.
Yeah.
All this
Yep,
stuff.
yep.
Yeah, I remember that. But that was a favorite of mine.
In fact, it was because of Schoolhouse Rock. The one I had to take the Constitution test in grade school.
We
in
all
order to go
remember the
to-
preamble.
Yeah. In order to go to graduate and go to high school, you had to take the Constitution test. And of course, you have on there, you had to write down the preamble. At least for ours, that was part of our thing. So in my head, I'm sitting there going, "We the people."
In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty, to ourselves and our posterity do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Right? To this day, we remember our civics because of that, and they don't even teach that crap in school anymore.
This was good times.
This was great. It was such a great learning tool.
Good Times was also, late 70s, early 80s.
It's a different show. No, again, I have a lot of good things to say about Schoolhouse Rock. Interplanetary Janet, that was another one.
Interplanet Janet, I got to be careful with that one. That one got me hit.
Oh, that's
for
right. We
copyright
had
claim
Janet from
before.
the planet. I know why you used the song because it makes sense with her.
Absolutely, absolutely. Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes. It's like a musical group that always seemed to
This
have
was like the
solve
counterpoint
mysteries.
to the Archies. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, that was the concept.
Yeah, because I could see the dark-haired chick on the side with the red being Veronica.
Kinda, yeah, I can see
You
that.
know?
Yeah.
And then the one that Troy is hiding, I could see that one, because I think that's one of the guys. I could see that one.
He's just a beatnik.
Yeah, but I could see him as Jughead.
Okay. I thought he was like a Shaggy type. We're like, okay, I guess he's Jughead, yeah.
But
And
it's like here they are, this rock band, and they always seem to be involved in mysteries. So it's like, it's fun to see. Okay, what are they gonna stumble across this week?
They can't be a story about just a band. What are they doing? Going around drinking and doing drugs? I mean, you can't do
Yeah, it's like Gem and the Holograms. It's like, there's another band that were.
I almost
like
had that one
undercover
on my
agents.
list.
Well, that one, I don't think that was a Saturday morning cartoon. That's why I didn't put it
I
down.
don't really remember. Yeah,
I remember my kids watching
they're
that one in the
truly
afternoon.
outrageous, though.
So
yes,
I'm sorry. You have to answer this question for me, Netter. Like, who is this, and what's her deal?
She was a frenemy of Josie's.
Yes. I don't remember her name.
Did she audition for the band and didn't make it in, so now she wants to ruin them or
No, it's
something?
like because they all, if I recall, they're all still in high school together. And so she was like, she just didn't like Josie because Josie was popular and pretty and all this. And so she was her frenemy.
She didn't have that skunk stripe in her hair like she does, right? I'm just trying to...
I don't know.
You can buy dye, lady.
Talented and she's not, and
Yeah, but why is she so angry, man? It's like, she's mad.
There's got to be an antagonist.
I know. There's got to be a villain, right? Okay. So I'll have to look for this because I got to find out what her deal is. But I have to admit I like their act though. Look at that. They're just doing their thing. Cool. All right. Another guy wearing an ascot in the corner there.
In reference to the Schoolhouse Rock, Samuel says, in junior high, my cool history teacher assigned us to recite the Emancipation Proclamation on video. I went a little further with a custom paper beard, a top hat, and filmed myself writing it with a quill. I like that.
That's very cool. Oh boy.
Fat Albert. Hey, hey, hey.
It's Fat
I
Albert.
used to watch this
I'm going to
too.
sing a song for you.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to show you a thing or two.
Now for
We'll
this
have
one,
the fun now
it seems to center
with
more
me and all
around
the gang.
life lessons. One, the kids would have an issue with something, and, you know, first they would go about the wrong way of trying to figure out a way out of it. But then eventually, you know, they'd start talking to their friends about, hey, you know, I'm having this issue, and I tried this, and now I'm in trouble, and they're like, well, you know, what you should do is blah, 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 blah. And then Cosby would come in and go, whenever you are having a problem, kid, you should talk to your parents, or, you know, something like that, you know. So it's always more about...
Yeah, remember when Cosby said, you know, when you're at a party and someone wants to give you a drink, maybe be very careful. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, they all seem to be kind of more of life lessons on how to deal with different situations.
Do you remember the holiday special?
I don't. But I did want to know what the heck was the deal with the one guy with the hat over most of his face with the...
I know! I never understood that.
Eye holes cut out.
Yeah.
Like,
Mush mouth.
What the frick is wrong with you?
Mush mouth. He would always talk like he was underwater. I remember that.
Actually, yes, Geek Flag, I did know they made a live Josie and the Pussycats. Wasn't that with, what's that girl's name?
Rachel Lee Cook.
Oh, was that who it was? I was mistaken. I didn't.
The blonde was played by the one who was from American Pie, and then you had Rosario Dawson was the which I guess they did a race swap on that. But
interesting.
Oh, someone gave gift membership.
Thank you so much, Jonathan Conroy. Gave a Netters Network gifted membership to Gearso Peak. Gearso Peak. Welcome to Netters Network. That is so cool. Thank you so much, Jonathan Conroy.
Looks like they're scared of something. Is this like the Halloween episode?
Yeah, very, very possibly. This is true. Nate points out that Bill Cosby did almost all the voices. Almost all the voices.
I remember Rudy was the troublemaker.
Yes.
There's one episode of Rudy, he's always playing his boombox loud, and they say, knock it off, then someone buys him some headphones, and he has like these radio headphones, and he starts blasting music loud, and then he starts losing his hearing, and he can't hear what anybody says, and basically, it's a little warning to the kids at home, don't blast your music too loud, you're going to lose your hearing.
Tinnitus is not something to mess with.
I think he gets over it, though, but yeah, it was like a warning, don't do that. Okay, but I used to always watch Fat Albert. I used to enjoy it. Even though it was kind of a lesson show, it still seemed to work.
Yep.
Oh dang, am I the only one watching? What's going on in my chat?
Well, no, he's saying that it's lonely over there in your chat.
I'm sorry. Let me say hi.
But you know what, guys, make sure that's actually a great call out. Make sure you're subscribed to Agent Boomer. We're trying to get him to 500 subscribers. And, he's been doing this way too long to not already be beyond 500 subscribers.
Ooh, why are you not letting me post to my own thing? That's a problem. Hold on.
Don't know. Are you actually in yours?
I am. Did I block myself?
I wouldn't put it past you, Boomer.
All right, anyway, but we can always see your comments here in the main thing, too, though, so you're not alone.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour. I think we end with this.
I seriously thought about doing this. I'm so glad Netter did it, because this is like peak Saturday morning cartoon, right? Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show.
Yeah, this is, of course, again, repurposing theatrical shorts, but it's still a Saturday morning cartoon. Did they make original shorts for this as well, or original segments? I think they did. Like, they mixed them up, I think, yeah. And the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour, and we have, of course, you would get like Roadrunner shorts, you get Bugs Bunny shorts. I remember this thing, the tap dance. Wasn't this on it? Daffy and Bugs doing the tap dance routine.
Yep. That's the opening,
dressed to the nines. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd get the Roadrunner. Was this how you experienced Looney Tunes, Netter?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. In fact, I remember that I learned a lot about opera because of Bugs Bunny. Because a lot of their music was opera.
Did I ever
But,
tell you the episode with Elmer Fudd, the opera one, where he kills the rabbit and kills him at the end? When my father was a child, he saw that in the theater, and then the projection went out right after Bugs Bunny died, and he thought Bugs Bunny died, and he was all
Oh
upset all
God.
day. This was back in the day. Of course, at the end of it, he winks to the audience and says, "Ain't I a stinker?" Remember that?
Ain't I a stinker?
Yeah, but they missed that part in the clip, and he thought Bugs Bunny died.
Am I the only one that saw that opening and heard Overture, curtain lights, this is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing of parts. We know every part by heart. Overture, curtain lights, this is it, you'll hit the heights. Oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it. Tonight, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it. Every one of you was thinking that. I know you were.
Hold on, I have to bring this up. Riley Coyote had the worst luck of all. It wasn't worst luck of all. It was the Acme Company, and he's going to sue them.
Well, yeah. I mean, he definitely... There should be a class action lawsuit against Acme, right? Acme was, back in the 60s and 70s, what Temu became in the 2000s.
But here's the thing, though. Acme's products didn't have a defect. It was the way...
That is
Coyote
true.
was using
that
them
is true.
That caused the defect.
He was using almost every one of those items in a way that it was not intended to be used. So let's be honest.
He didn't read the instructions.
Well, there's that element of it too. He certainly didn't read the warnings. Be careful. May cause explosive decompression. Right.
All right.
I know. You're absolutely right, Nate. You're absolutely right. I should be doing this over on the Green Machine, the platform of freedom.
And here's the thing:
why do you leave it on the bird mooning us?
All right, something. There we go. You happy?
The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner.
Here's the thing that always got me about
I
the
gotta
Coyote.
move this back.
He's got all this money to buy all these Acme products. Why doesn't he just buy himself some food?
It's the principle of the thing at this point.
No, it's like when you're the treasure hunter and you're spending probably more money on finding the treasure than you would have if you would actually found it, what treasure you'll find. It's like, aren't people obsessing over like this mystery book where this tech billionaire hid gold all over the country, like chests of gold, and like that now they're like spending money to go find it and stuff. They did a Midsummer Murders based around that, and apparently it's an actual thing. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if... I think I read a follow-up article that the treasure that he had buried or whatever had indeed been found.
Okay.
Like years ago.
All right.
But people... Because, and it was one of those things, too, where people are going to locations and getting killed because they were falling or whatever. It's like, this was never meant to be a thing where anyone gets hurt. There's certain coordinates that, if you follow the clues, and he had like a poem or whatever, so if you follow the clues in the poem, you will not be in danger, but you should be able to find the treasure. But it's going to take some hunting. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Netter, it's all about the hunt, Nate says.
Yeah. Side punt.
So there you go. Yeah, that was the longest running one. And this was another one of those ones that multi-generational. My mom had watched it, and my grandfather watched this. He when he was over and I was watching this, I love the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner. He says, I don't know who writes these things, but it must be a crazy genius.
Probably. All right.
This is the one cartoon where Bugs Bunny would be a cross-dresser, and nobody had an issue with it.
Right. It's also where most of us learned about opera, right?
That's why I said.
The Barber of Seville.
Barber of Seville, I remember that short, yes.
Yeah, like I said, I learned opera from Bugs Bunny because a lot of the cartoons for Bugs Bunny had opera in them. And it's like, cool.
How many people hear Flight of the Valkyries and sing, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit? I had a band teacher. This is tangentially related. He said, it's a proven fact that you have to be very intellectual, like genius level intellectual, to be able to hear the William Tell Overture and not think of the Lone Ranger. And I said, well, okay, by the same token, it would take that same genius to hear Flight of the Valkyries and not think Kill the Wabbit. And he looked at me and goes, I like you, kid.
Funny. Well, that's it for Netter's picks. So, who won? I'm kidding. It wasn't a competition.
Who won? Was it a competition? I didn't realize.
Actually, I lose because I didn't include the tick. People, whoever was in the chat, they were right. I should have thought of that one.
You did end with the last one is getting mooned by the bird.
By the way,
we get the bird and get mooned at the same time.
To be fair, I thought we were going in reverse order. I thought we would start with Netter, go to you, and then go to me.
Oh, gotcha.
So, in other words, the Rogan are saying, kiss my butt.
Kiss my ass. Ding.
By the way, though, the reason Batman the Animated Series wasn't here is because I considered that a weekday afternoon show, though it did premiere on a Saturday morning. The first episode ever was aired on a Saturday morning. It's just then it moved to weekdays right after that. It was like a special. Yeah.
This reminds me of my childhood watching Saturday cartoons in the morning. That's exactly the whole point of why we did this. You just basically summed up the whole thing. Exactly.
And then tomorrow morning, get yourself some sugary cereal and turn on Tubi because there ain't no more Saturday morning cartoons.
Actually, tomorrow morning,
on Tubi.
I'm going to have a big glass of water with a cold pack on my head because, wow, I am ripped. Between the Long Island iced tea and then Netter's pour on my Kraken, I'm cracking, let me tell you.
I said, I would get really big tips if I had given somebody else that drink in an actual bar.
Oh, wait a minute. Why am I so big? I gotta lose weight. Welcome, Lindgren. Have you been here the whole time? Have you been lurking? I saw on Leather Wings 3 months earlier at a Trek convention. Really? At a Trek convention? That's odd.
That was the second episode of Batman the Animated Series that aired. That was the Sunday night before it went to the weekday afternoons. It first was Cat in the Claw, Part 1 on Saturday. On Leather Wings the next day. We didn't get Cat in the Claw Part 2 until the following Saturday.
I feel like that's the lyrics of a song. There should be, and he will beat you up on leather wings. Okay. I don't know, something like that.
Do you know who the villain was that episode?
No idea.
Man-Bat.
Oh.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about, yes.
That character is a pretty intense character. Yeah. That borders.
They did him well on the cartoon.
Yeah, that one really borders on their Vertigo titles.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
All right. Well, we should probably wrap it up because I got to get up in the morning.
Well, maybe you should play this afternoon's Liquid Lunch for Julie then, because everybody had some things to say about Long Island iced tea. She's not wrong. She is not wrong. I drank it because I'm committed to the cocktail bit, but I didn't necessarily enjoy it. I want to enjoy my booze. I really, really do. Leather Wings was a pilot, according to whoever was representing them at that con in Chicago. Wait, Lynn, you were in Chicago? Oh, we could have met up or something.
This was back in 1992. Probably, all right? I think that's what she's saying.
Oh, I
see
what
you're talking about the Batman the Animated Series early episodes. I think they had a different voice for Alfred in the very beginning, and they switched. Anyway, we have to wrap this up. I got to get up in the morning, dude.
Congratulations.
Or I could leave really you to your own devices here if you'd like.
No. We should wrap this up.
Yes.
Yeah. So any spoilers for tomorrow for Geeky Geezers?
Not
tomorrow, Sunday.
Let me think about this. I have to get you some more stories before we even do that because we're running sparse this week. I think there was something interesting we were going to talk about. I think it involved, game journalist nonsense. But what was the other thing?
We're probably also going to be talking a little bit about reviews on The Mandalorian.
Oh, are they out? Great, we'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll look for those. All right. And and Sony lost a bunch of money in their games division. What else is new? And of course, Miami police officers want to sue Ben Affleck and Matt Damon over how they were portrayed in The Rip. I have my own feelings on that.
That was interesting.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that and why Francis making Les Mis again.
Really?
I don't know if it's the musical version, though, but we'll find out. All right.
Yeah, because there's like 5 or 6 versions of Les Mis. Like,
dude, they should just do the musical version again and just make it better. I don't care if it's in French. Just do it. Just do it.
I agree. Oh, have you ever heard the French concept album? It's not
I didn't
bad.
know that. Okay,
It's
all right.
really, really good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be okay with that. I didn't understand a word they were saying, but it sounded good.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway.
All right, and that'll be Sunday.
All right, and
tomorrow night.
Netter, anything you wanted to? Do you have a guest for Thursday?
No.
Okay. So
Well,
just
I do
remember, guys, if you have yourself a YouTube channel that you're trying to promote, maybe reach out to Netter, see if she might want to.
Or maybe you've got an interesting hobby or something like that you want to get other people to know about. Let me know. Drop me a DM in Twitter. Let's get you on. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. And that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah, we've drifted into. We are now in Saturday morning. It is now Saturday morning. So I need to go sleep off the booze. You guys all have a wonderful weekend. I'm so glad that you could be here to hang out with us and kind of go down a little bit of a memory lane. For some of you, maybe going back a little before you were born, but something we could relate to was that Saturday morning thing back before cable, back before physical media, when you had to watch the show in the mornings or you didn't see them. That's just the way it was. So everyone, I ask you all, as I always do, take care of yourselves. Be healthy as you can. Stay hydrated. I really have to do that tonight, let me tell you, before I go to bed. And drink responsibly, which I probably didn't do tonight. And I will see you all on the next one. Salute, my friends.
Good night.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading, closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, our feelings they unfurl. A tapestry of whispers in this corner of the world. The jukebox serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near, But in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for